CBS's Andres Gutierrez says that includes testing a glove found near the 84-year-old's Arizona home.
They had DNA. They sent it off to the lab that the county contracts with in Florida. They ended up doing some quality control testing on it. And this morning, it was sent to the FBI DNA database, CODIS.
The DNA did not match any profiles in the National Data Bank. People are dropping off flowers in Chicago, where the Reverend Jesse Jackson has died at the age of 84.
I'm still here today after all these years because of what Jesse Jackson and what Chicago means to the world.
More from CBS's Allison Keyes.
Tears rolled down the face of civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. at President Obama's victory speech in Chicago in 2008. Now the Obamas are calling Jackson a true giant. They say in a statement Jackson helped lead some of the most significant movements for change in human history, citing his registration of millions of voters and his advocating for freedom and democracy around the world. The Obamas say they stood on his shoulders. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
U.S. and Iranian negotiators have held another round of indirect talks in Geneva today about Iran's nuclear program. CBS's Natalie Brand with the latest.
We do have a new statement, Reed, from a U.S. official who said that progress was made, but also noted there are many more details still to discuss. Iran is expected to come back in the next 2 weeks with detailed proposals to address some of what this official calls open gaps in the position.
President Trump has threatened military action if no deal is reached to limit Iran's nuclear program. Warner Brothers Discovery briefly reopens takeover talks with Paramount.
Warner Brothers Discovery wants to hear CBS News owner Paramount Skydance's best and final offer, while the Hollywood giant continues to back the studio and streaming deal it struck with Netflix. In a regulatory filing, Warner says that Netflix has granted it a waiver to open discussions with Paramount for 7 days. Paramount now has until February 23rd to negotiate a possible transaction. In the meantime, Warner's board is still recommending shareholder support of its proposed merger with Netflix. A special meeting is scheduled for Friday, March 20th on that deal. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
People are celebrating the Lunar New Year and the Year of the Horse. Crowds are gathering at temples and events across Asia and beyond. In Hong Kong, people lined up at midnight to light incense and make wishes. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Well, some of you might see snow this week. More on that on the way. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic. Not much going on. Of course, here in Seattle, North 5, we've got our Revive I-5 back up at the Ship Canal Bridge, where your two left lanes are blocked into early June. The backup starts just past Mercer. It's going to take you 7 or 8 minutes to clear this. South 5, you're looking good. Eastbound 520 at Montlake Boulevard, we have a 3-car collision blocking the right lane. It's right at the start of that off-ramp, but you can still access that ramp. And if you're heading over the passes anytime soon, slushy roads over White Pass, traction tires advised, oversized vehicles prohibited. Snoqualmie, Stevens, and Blewett, no restrictions. There's your KIRO News Radio traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is delivering her first State of the City address at this hour. It just got underway.
This is your city.
Wilson is expected to discuss Seattle's current budget deficit, efforts to clear encampments, public safety, and the impact of recent tech layoffs. We will have coverage throughout the day here on KIRO News Radio. The IRS says taxpayers could see bigger refunds this year thanks to President Trump's big, beautiful bill. The latest figures show the average refund is up 11% from last year, but as KIRO 7's Dee Sun explains, there's a bit of a catch.
But the biggest benefits are likely to go to the top 10% of earners. The final average is likely to be higher, as higher earners tend to file later.
This year, the average refund is expected to top just over $2,100. Seattle police say officers have arrested a 48-year-old man with active felony warrants after he allegedly broke into a safe, stole a gun, and tried to escape. Someone called 911 around 1:50 yesterday near East Denny Way and 20th Avenue to report a man breaking into a discarded safe with a crowbar and taking a handgun. Police say they found the suspect nearby. When ordered to stop, the man fled on foot. During the chase, he dropped his backpack, and officers later found the gun inside. Officers say they also found marijuana and methamphetamine. The suspect is prohibited from possessing firearms as a felon. Another warrant in the amount of $7,500 was found for theft of a motor vehicle. He was booked into King County Jail on charges including unlawful possession of a firearm and obstructing a public officer. Seattle's Little Red Hen has pushed its fight over a lease dispute into court. The Green Lake Bar was served an eviction notice after a disagreement with its landlord over lease terms and now faces a hearing where a judge will decide how the case moves forward. According to the Seattle Times, supporters say the venue has a long legacy of live music and community gatherings. Western Washington could see a small chance of snow in the lowlands this week, according to meteorologists. Forecasters say snow levels may dip near or below 1,000 feet, which could bring wet snow or a dusting of flakes mixed with rain in some areas. But any snow that falls is unlikely to accumulate much before turning back to rain. A winter weather advisory is in effect for parts of the Olympic Peninsula, Hood Canal, and the coast, where 1 to 3 inches of snow could fall. Meanwhile, the Cascades and Olympics are expected to see several inches of mountain snow through Friday. And now your KIRO News Radio weather forecast calls for scattered showers down here with a possibility of a snow mix throughout the afternoon. That means cold temperatures, a high around 44, a little cooler tomorrow. 38 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy, what day is it, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Jake Skorheim here, Spike O'Neill, sitting right there.
Hey, brother.
I was gone yesterday, President's Day.
Yeah, welcome back.
I celebrate that day privately.
Do you really? That's good for you.
I do,
I celebrate it very publicly.
Good for you. By working?
By working. Well, we spent a good portion of yesterday's show reminiscing about the glory of previous presidencies.
Fantastic.
Yeah, what an institution it is for America. Last night I watched Lincoln, Steven Spielberg's Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis.
What's his face?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's
a method actor, you know.
He is. I heard that.
Did you see there was a really famous viral photo going around? You guys may have covered this yesterday. But during the filming of that, he was pictured at a local restaurant. Full-on Lincoln regalia, chilling out.
I haven't seen that photo in modern America.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it's like, it's pretty funny because he's in full-on costume and he's doing his method thing. Although brilliant movie. He's a great actor.
Speaking of which, we didn't get your, and I know we got a lot of stuff scheduled today, and I apologize.
Sure.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't, yesterday we mentioned the passing of Robert Duvall.
Oh my gosh.
And you weren't here, and I know you're a cinema buff.
I love that guy.
And I know that you respected and appreciated his work.
Do you know what I really thought? So one of my first thoughts when I saw that he passed was 95. I mean, that's a good run for anybody.
What a wonderful, amazing life. Yes.
It's not a sad loss when somebody's 95. You say you celebrate and you go like, what an amazing life they led.
Exactly.
Any of us should be so lucky to make it to 95.
I watched Open Range last night.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Do you know
I was going to watch that or 3 Days in October because part of my presidential movie, but I couldn't miss watching Robert Duvall last night.
He's a singular, unique talent to watch.
Treasure.
One of the things that I really love about him, though, is if you go back really on in his early career and you watch his stuff in the Twilight Zone. Have you seen his? Oh my gosh, the Dollhouse.
Yeah,
it's all right there. He's just a very fine actor, and that was what is that? Twilight Zone was in the 1950s.
50s, yeah. Well,
late 50s, maybe early 60s. Yeah. He's phenomenal, and what a career that guy had, and what a life. 95, long time to live. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to, a lot of stuff, which we're going to talk about, a lot of fun topics. Luke Ducey's going to join us in just a little bit. We're going to talk about this millionaire's tax that passed out of the Senate.
It's out of the preliminary rounds, and it's on to the medal rounds now. Right?
That's how I feel. How do you think I feel about this? Boo! It still obviously needs to go back to the House for a vote, but
getting a tune-up in the House. I hear it's going to get a tune-up.
A tune-up.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Dial it in a little bit.
We have some interesting stuff on that. I think people are going to be interested though, and lots of stuff to discuss. And then at 2:00, Jason Rance is going to come in. He's got a story that I found really fascinating. The state is spending a bunch of money for EV chargers for cars along highways and such.
Federal money.
And what I'm wondering is it a good use of money? Jason has it's a very interesting story. And
interested to hear his take.
it's just also interesting to talk about like how we spend money on what is actually going to show results and all of that. So that'll be 2 o'clock and lots of stuff. Let's get right into this, though. This is a story. I saw this over at SeattleRed.com, and then I followed the link back to the Seattle Times, who has the original story about CEO pay in Washington State. And I thought you and I have been apart now for 4 days, right? Because of the holiday.
It felt like a year.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
It's too long.
It did.
I said, Spike and I need to disagree on something.
My wife, I was staring at the back door yesterday. She's like, what happened? I'm like, I wasn't there.
I'm just waiting to see Jake again.
Just wasn't there.
I was interested in your take on this. So Seattle Times has this piece. Here's the headline. Feels a little bit, whatever. You can judge for yourself. Here's a headline from Seattle Times. One Washington CEO makes 1,794 times his average employee. Here's why from the Seattle Times. And then they break down all the different executive pay versus median employee pay in those different businesses. And they have a bunch of local businesses like T-Mobile and Microsoft and Costco and PACCAR and Boeing.
The industries that drive our state's economy.
Yeah.
These, right? That's
Huge.
safe to say.
Weyerhaeuser.
Right. These are major employers.
And at the top of the list with a pay ratio of 1,794 to 1.
49. 1749.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay.
I got that wrong. 1,749 to 1. Well, that changes my feelings on this completely. No, I'm just kidding. 1,749 to 1 is...
Well, but give the second place. It's quite a disparity. What I noticed
I'll give both. I'll give both. Brian Nickel of Starbucks.
Yeah.
Second place is Microsoft, which is 480 to 1. CEO pay to compensation.
That's what blew my mind. The disparity is 4 times as extreme from and when you get to the other
T-Mobiles. Disparity is a heavy word. I have no problem with these differences. A CEO should be making a lot more than the median employee is making, and especially in a company like Starbucks, that makes complete and total sense to me. I don't find anything about this controversial.
Me neither.
I thank you.
Me neither.
Well, that's a surprise. Pleasant surprise.
You got to spend the best to get the best.
Do you want?
You got to
have money,
right?
Yes.
If they don't get Brian Nickel, you know what that average employee makes? Nothing, because the company goes under.
Spike, you and I can move on.
You can't keep beating this dead coffee bean, this dead bag of beans like they were doing.
Were you surprised by the Times approach to the article? Did you feel
where was it from again?
Seattle Times.
No, I was not surprised. Come on, man.
What happened the last 3 days?
I missed you. Well, that's just
this is great.
It's a clickbait article.
This felt like a clickbait article.
Clickety click.
So the average median employee at Starbucks makes $17,279.
That's outrageous.
Brian Nickel
for the service they're providing, they shouldn't make a third of that.
Brian Nickel.
They can't even write a happy "How are you?" on my cup.
That was not from me.
I don't even get to have a great day, Mister, on my cup.
I think they are required to write things now, aren't they?
They are.
Do they write stuff now?
Yeah.
I think they have to. Brian Nickel makes $30 million. This in what was this? This would have been for 25, right?
That's where these numbers are from. Yes.
So $30,992,773. The median employee at Starbucks makes $17,279. Compared to Microsoft, the CEO of Microsoft made $96,496,000, and the median employee at Microsoft makes $200,972.
And a mean cup of coffee.
And probably a pretty good cup of coffee.
The median employee of Microsoft.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference, and I would say.
What?
The employees at Microsoft almost make as good a coffee as the employees at Starbucks.
Ooh, you think almost? I think maybe better.
You think better?
You know what?
Depends on the machine.
I don't mean to be disparaging to someone who's really scrapping out that $17,200 a year.
Sure.
Starbucks says you push a button.
Here's the thing.
Right? You push a button, you strap on an apron, you write Joe on the cup, put a smiley face, you're in.
And we've all done it.
We've
all done those entry-level jobs. They're low paying, so of course the ratio is going to be wildly different.
Absolutely.
Because that's an entry level. The average person who wants to go get hired at Microsoft probably has a good amount of background. They might have a pretty impressive resume. Somebody who's working at Starbucks, this is no offense to people who started at Starbucks. I was a barista when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the great thing about the job is it doesn't require a lot in your work history to get that job, which is why it's so fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can get it, you can build up skills.
It's a launch pad.
It's a launch pad, absolutely. So I have no problem with this. I'm glad you don't either. That's great. Should we just move along since neither of us have a problem with it?
Yeah, it's way to go. Well, my problem is with the Seattle Times.
Great success. We've done it. All right, good. All right, let's move on to this. Our second story in whatever we're calling this segment again. First things first.
First things first. Second things second.
Second thing is second. But still a top story, the Nancy Guthrie investigation it has reached a point now because I've been following this very, very closely. I'm very interested in this. I am becoming worried that this is going to be one of those cases that just kind of like peters off, and then people have to stop covering it because nothing new is happening. They move on to other things, and then the story never gets solved, and then it becomes a cold case. It already feels like a cold case.
It really does, and it's
been
heartbreaking.
17 days since she was abducted from her home.
It's been horrifying since day one. For me, it's been heartbreaking for a couple weeks now, given the reality of the situation of an 85-year-old woman.
The likelihood of her surviving to this point seems
watching
less and less.
Watching the heart-wrenching emotional reactions of the Guthrie family has been very telling. You don't want to make these comments publicly, but you see what they're going through. You can see the reality and the realizations that they're going through in real time.
I wonder if in the immediate aftermath of her disappearance, and then they were saying she's missing, and then it quickly turned to talks of an abduction, especially when that Nest camera, front door cam footage came out of the guy trying to break into her house. Yeah. Then it turned into an abduction, and then there was. Even before that, there was ransoms that were sent in.
Ransoms. That's when
One of them at least was arrested for making a false ransom claim. And
that's interfering with an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, it's a felony. It's a felony. And you think to yourself, like, were any of these legitimate? I mean, like, what did law enforcement have at all that they recommended to the Guthrie family to respond to any of these that they thought one of these might be a real thing? Because remember the dates, and then they had the dates. It was like the Thursday.
Yeah, and
if you didn't respond to the Thursday, then the Monday, and then those both went away.
And there were details that were released that were included in these ransom notes that weren't released to the public. That's what gave them some sense of hope.
But they were still kind of generic details. Like they weren't super detailed. They, there certainly wasn't one of those proof of life conversations where you could ask somebody that a very specific thing that they then could confirm to you over the phone.
Exactly. Today's paper.
Yeah, some
family treasured
secret
memory
that they know, the name of your dog,
yes.
all that kind of stuff. And now, 17 days in, and the stuff that I don't know if you guys covered this yesterday on the show, but the thing that I found insane. So they recover rubber gloves from inside the house, at least one that they recover.
That was a week ago.
Yeah, but then they sent them off for DNA testing.
Right. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
And then the information that releases, we recovered that, and more than a dozen other gloves also recovered in the search for this glove in various areas surrounding Nancy Guthrie's house, which have also been sent in, and we're trying and distinguishing between the two.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, if your job is to go and look for evidence, and one of the primary pieces of evidence are these rubber gloves that everybody's highlighting in that video that they released. If you're one of the people from the Pima County Office of the Sheriff, and you're going around discarding your rubber gloves in nature, is what it makes it sound like they did, why on earth would you do that? And it does not give me a whole bunch of confidence that these are the people who are going to solve the crime. If you're just discarding these rubber gloves that then now have to be like accounted for, and I would assume
resources wasted, time wasted.
Yeah, and I assume they have to be like verified that these are not connected to the person who did the DNA thing.
Right.
And you're taking away the time for that, and it's just the whole thing. Are they ever going to solve this? Do you think they'll ever solve it?
I me, I'm an optimist. I'm a painful, hopeful optimist. I really don't. I hope. The Guthrie family's later pleas to the would-be abductor, if that is indeed the case, seem to take a tone of closure, as opposed to getting their mom back.
It felt like a recovery of remains.
Really did.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but even now, I don't know that that's a possibility, given that there's this national spotlight and this now they raise the bounty or the reward for information.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So the FBI raised the reward. It was $50,000 initially. Then they doubled it to $100,000. I wonder what the magic number is where you have to, because the sheriff's office said they have already gotten 18,000 tips on this. Now, discard most of those as being completely false and bogus. People have no connection to it.
5. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's still, but you still have to cancel those out, and you still have to chase those down. That's a lot of time they're spending on those.
You never know where the one true lead is.
I wonder if that number should just be jumped up, like even more than 100,000, because they're already getting an insane amount of tips on the $100,000.
Well,
why not make it like $1 million? Well,
then that opens the floodgates of tips. Everyone
aren't
in
they
America
already
tips.
floodgated with tips?
Maybe.
Like
maybe,
that would be my question.
That's a hard dynamic to figure out.
Somebody knows the person that abducted.
Yeah,
Nancy
that's the whole point of the tip line. Is the reward money.
You have to be willing to say, I'm willing to sell that person out on a suspicion that maybe they're guilty.
Right.
Because the value is so great in the reward, that might be more than $100,000. And at this point,
to get somebody to really just finally pull it. Yeah, you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is. Make it $1 million.
Make it $1 million. Think about how many people. Think about the resources also, just from a math perspective. Obviously the sheriffs in Pima County said that they have 400 law enforcement alongside federal personnel.
Right.
This is what they're doing right now. These are
chasing
400.
leads. Yeah.
Think about how much money, and not that it should all be dollars and cents. That's not what I'm saying. But think about how much money they're spending, investigating this, searching for this, and I mean, just up the. And maybe that doesn't do anything. Maybe it doesn't move the needle, and nobody calls it in because maybe nobody knows. I guess that's possible. But did you think that at the beginning of all this, because it felt so fumbling and such a bumbling. Who is this guy who went in through the front door? Who's using plants to try to block a camera? That doesn't seem like a professional, and yet he has evaded the United States government and the local law enforcement.
I mean, maybe the biggest spotlight, media spotlight, investigative spotlight, law enforcement spotlight we've seen in decades. I can't remember a case this publicly focused in decades, literally.
The last one that would even be close would be the right here, the Kohlberger.
Yeah.
But I don't think it had the resources that this did.
And there wasn't the
coverage.
Right. There wasn't a national media star like Samantha Guthrie.
Yeah.
Who was the focal point. Everybody in the country felt like they had an emotional tie to this.
Absolutely.
Because they're tied to her.
And when you look at a picture of Nancy Guthrie, every time I see it, like when we're watching coverage or something at night, my wife and I, you just get sad because you see a picture of, she looks like everyone's grandma. Or everyone's mother. Nancy Guthrie does. She's just a sweet lady.
Yep.
There's a picture they keep showing of her that obviously the Guthrie family has, given out to be shared. And she's dressed very nice and looks like she's in a nice restaurant. You've probably seen this one.
Yeah, I'm sure I know exactly, yeah.
And you're just sitting there going like, this poor lady, what she had to endure at the hands of whoever took her. Yeah. And the idea now that it's been 17 days. And then I saw from the sheriff's office said, it doesn't matter if this investigation might take months or years. We're never going to stop. And I just thought to myself, like, that is the last thing in the world. If I was the Guthrie family, that I'd want to be hearing. I don't want to hear the expectation being lowered that this could take years.
Right.
We're going to solve this, and we're going to solve this soon.
Yeah.
And how is it possible they haven't?
Well, to your point about the reward being raised, we had Chuck Jordan on, the president of the National Association of Fugitive Recovery, Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
And he said it's always the people that know somebody, that know something. Those are the ones. That's the first ones to go after. Whenever they find anybody, it's because one of their friends finally flipped.
Finally went, what? That's a lot of money.
Right.
And why are we protecting somebody who maybe killed an old lady?
Right.
If that's what happened, God forbid, and hopefully she's still alive. So we'll find out. It's a wild story. We're going to keep following it, and man, I hope I never thought in a million years though that when we first started covering the story
we'd still be
17 days later, it would still be. They said they have no suspects. They have no persons of interest at this point.
They cleared the entirety of the family.
They also said the family.
Yesterday.
They said we're not.
Right.
What did they say
they've
here?
All been no longer suspects.
I have that quote here. They said, yeah, basically what you just said. None of the family are suspects. We've cleared them all. And my question is, how can you even do that if you're saying you have no suspects?
I mean, they ran every lead down. They checked every alibi. They checked the DNA in whatever glove they had, and they checked everybody on their families, their short list of family members.
Which I just saw, that DNA. They ran it into that CODIS system or whatever the FBI has for all the different, criminal stuff for people connected to those things. There's not a match.
In the entirety of the international DNA base.
According to the post I just saw, if somebody had been following on the story the entire time, said that law enforcement said that there wasn't a match. But who knows? We'll find out. We'll see what happens. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. Luke Ducey's going to join us next. We're going to talk about that millionaire tax that passed in the Senate. Boo! But we'll discuss that next. Stick around.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but Can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations to Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here, and February is Valentine Roofing Month. And if you love Valentine Roofing as much as I do, this is the month it benefits you to shout it from the rooftops. Listen to this. Valentine Roofing is expanding their customer referral program for the month of February. When you refer friends or family for a new roof or siding, you will earn your choice of a free maintenance service, or you can get a $250 gift card. It's a pretty good deal. And as you know, you can be confident when you're referring your loved ones because every Valentine Roofing customer receives the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, extra mile service, even in this winter weather. And with flexible financing options available with payments as low as $159 a month and zero down, a Valentine roof is built around your budget. Since 2008, Valentine Roofing has been trusted across the Puget Sound by thousands of homeowners. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which keeps my wife and kids extremely happy. I trust them to help you too. So talk to your friends and family. Tell them to call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, the red Valentine van means you and your neighbors are in good hands.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Gun violence. That was the first topic in Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's first State of the City address today. She says the city needs to do better, pointing to the deaths of 2 Rainier Beach High School students last month.
How can students be expected to learn if you are worried, as one young woman told me, that if you leave school for lunch, you might never come back? How can you be expected to concentrate in class if you're living in a constant state of grief or fear?
Wilson says she plans to convene a panel of experts to help find a solution to Seattle's gun violence problem. Leaders in King County are calling on lawmakers in Olympia to restore millions in funding for crime victim services. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports advocacy groups warn that without that money, lives could be at risk.
Leaders of victim advocacy groups across the state, including Doris O'Neill with the Seattle YWCA, say they are at a breaking point.
Many services will be disrupted. We won't be able to serve as many people as we do. It could mean that survivors go without.
The currently proposed budget in Olympia cuts support for crime survivors nearly in half. Multiple groups warn that could mean fewer shelter beds, reduced counseling, and possible closures, leaving survivors, including children, without life-saving help. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police are investigating a fatal crash on Capitol Hill. Around 8 p.m. last night, a 27-year-old woman was hit by a Toyota Prius at Bellevue Avenue East and East Pine Street. Fire crews tried to save her, but officials say she died at the scene. According to SPD, the driver was turning right when the woman walking in or near the crosswalk was hit. He stayed at the scene, showed no signs of impairment. Anyone with information is asked to call 206-684-8923. One person is dead after an electrical fire tore through a condo in Renton. Several other residents were displaced when the flames broke out near Highway 900 and Union Avenue Northeast. KIRO TV spoke with one woman who lost her home.
I'm not entirely sure, just trying to process everything, and we'll hopefully figure things out in the next couple weeks. It's terrible that this happened, just really tragic.
No details yet on the person who died. Washington snowpack is well below normal this year, raising concerns about an early dry season for the state's lakes and reservoirs. KIRO 7 News meteorologist Robert Van Winkle caught up with some snowboarders to get their thoughts.
What would you rate this season as? 2? but maybe later this week it'll jump to an 8. I'm hoping for it.
Meteorologists say there's still a chance for more snowfall later this week. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic. South 5, just before Mercer, we've got a new collision taking up your right lane. That's got you stacked up onto the Ship Canal Bridge. Linwood to Seattle, right around 20 minutes. North 5 is now backed up from the West Seattle Bridge to the Express Lanes entrance. And you get a little break, and then just past Mercer, it thickens up again across the Ship Canal Bridge. The rest of the commute looks great, though. That's your KIRO News Radio traffic. And now, weather, cooler temperatures this week, with highs topping out in the mid to low 40s, overnight lows near 30 in Seattle, and scattered showers with snow mix at times. Partly sunny and 42 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Very excited to have this guy back on. He's been off for a few days from his busy schedule covering the Seahawks' fantastic Super Bowl win, and now he's back. He's Luke Ducey.
I am going to drop a deuce on everybody.
Darn right I am. Oh, KIRO News Radio reporter extraordinaire. Luke, welcome back to the show.
Hey, good to be here.
We're going to get into this millionaire's tax in just a second. But on the break, okay, so we're watching, we got Olympics going on in the studio. We're watching live. There's a bobsled event right now. And you leaned over a second ago. You said you've actually gone bobsledding.
It's the worst thing in the world.
You've done it?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. It looks so
anyone
awesome.
can do it.
As part of a media?
Go up to Whistler.
Oh.
Vancouver.
Okay.
Whistler. And you can take bobsled runs up there. You have to actually pay for it. And the money goes to help the Olympic team up there. And, my brother-in-law and I decided, it'd be a lot of fun. We'll do it. And we got into our little group. And they do things like they weigh you and then they measure your height beforehand because there's so many G-forces. Your spine is compressed that you come out shorter. Then they measure your height again after the ride.
If you lose 2 inches, you get a free cupcake.
Do you really actually come out shorter?
Yes, I was shorter, and I tell you what, it was probably the position I was in. I was the last person on the sled. They size you up. I was the biggest guy.
Sure.
They put me on the last of a four-man bobsled team. There was a 70-year-old woman with us, and so we were wrong. It was wrong of us to do this. We were looking at her, thinking, well, if she can do it, then no problem.
Meanwhile, she's eating beef jerky, sitting.
She did. She did. She sat behind the driver, which I now have come to know is known as the champagne seat because you don't feel any of the bashing and the slamming and the G forces, but on the back end. As right before they there's no running to get in the bob, so they put you in there, they sit you in there.
Yeah, you don't want a running start.
Push you. No, could you imagine? None of us make it in there.
Got the blinkers flashing the whole way.
They said your ride is you could be a little rough because it takes on someone out there knows the physics, but the person in the last seat takes on the physics and the G forces. And
that's
it was
a compliment
painful.
to you then. They knew you can handle it.
It was horrible.
Good for you.
It hurt. I was praying for it to end toward the last couple of turns.
I'm not a person who does. I don't roller coaster. I can't do. Again, the G forces, the violent motions of these cars, and that's a roller coaster. I can't imagine.
It would be
on ice. I can't imagine.
So much fun. Your brother-in-law just sent this in, Luke. This is audio from your brother-in-law. This is you guys about to bobsled.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the ride. Get on up. It's bobsled time. Hooray!
Sounds about right. He was pretty cheerful. And then, my wife and my sister and all the kids they're there at the last turn they bought the little ding-a-ling-a-ling, little cowbells and stuff. And the first question they asked was, did you hear us cheering for you? No, I didn't. I couldn't. I saw a blur.
I was crying
I was
in my
pain.
helmet.
It hurt so bad.
You didn't put on a brave face for the kids?
No, it really hurt. I said, don't do that. I tell anyone. And you read these posts from not Travis, what's his brother? Jason Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
He just wrote a post about this, and it described the same thing. It was the worst experience of all time.
This guy's been
It was
abused.
horrible.
We were talking about this a little bit before the show, but I bet you many people have had this conversation, and we'll get into our topic here in just a second.
Speaking of painful.
About millionaire's tax, which is painful. Yeah. But when you watch the Olympics, these athletes are too good, and they make it look too easy. And what they need to do, and everybody has said this, I'm not the first person to say this, everyone has had the same thought. You need a normal, schlubby dude to also, before anybody gets on the course that day, you need a normal guy, like a cutaway footage, like NBC, if you're listening. You need a cutaway B-roll footage of some dum-dum getting into the suit that they have to wear when they do ski
that
jumping.
alone, that to me, that's an Olympic event.
Just look disgusting. And then you see them walking up the steps.
You need help.
Giant
Need help getting zipped in,
yes.
Right? You can't even lift your leg up high enough to get to the next step.
Sitting on the bench, looking down that thing, just going like, nah, forget it. I'm not doing it. Like too scared.
Get your baseline.
Any event, just so you know what a normal person would have to do. And I would watch that. I'll be honest. When I'm watching the Olympics, it's a novelty appeal. That's the only reason I'm watching it. There's a reason that these sports are not popular for the rest of the year.
So
I have almost zero interest.
You like to see average Joe going down the long jump,
100%,
right? Getting just thrown into the air, screaming.
If you ever get a chance to go up to a ski jump, and just walk up to it and look at it, because on TV it looks pretty cool. Go up to one and just look at it and try not to throw up.
You can't appreciate how far they're going.
It's
they're going
so
like football
scary.
field long.
Yeah, I got to witness it firsthand at the Lillehammer Olympics in '94. We got seats, we have VIP seating right along the middle of the jump landing zone itself. So they're leaving the ramp just to my right and landing 3 miles that way to my left. Watching these guys fly through the air. It's unhuman. It's inhuman. Unreal moments.
It is unreal. And every single little thing, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, every sport is impossible for a normal person to do. And you think that you can do it. We're different when we watch like sports like professional baseball or basketball or
we've
football.
all swung a bat.
Because we've all played those sports
yeah.
and we've all washed out of those sports. But not many people have tried curling. You don't understand how difficult curling is. Like, we're going to talk about the story at 1:30 today about the Canadian curling controversy that's happening right now. We have amazing audio.
All the rage.
It's all the rage. But this is the only time that these people get their moment, and you are putting a lifetime of work into something like bobsledding. Now, what are these guys? Look at this guy in the back right now. Luke, no offense, he looks like you.
Yeah,
the guy in the second.
He's got some. He's got a meat on
some
him.
girth.
Well, I just mean he's got some muscle. He's a muscly looking guy.
It's one way to say it.
But what I mean is, like, what are these guys doing the whole rest of the year? They're training incredibly hard, but they're also working at, like, I would assume, normal jobs to support themselves.
It's not a pro bobsled league.
There can't
be.
Yeah,
you know, maybe they got endorsements. They're Romanians, so they work for the government.
And where could you even do it? Like, is there even any local bobsled places? Other side from where there has been Olympic events, like in the past, like Whistler.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's why that's open all winters, because people go there to train.
Yeah,
and not only teams but
clubs.
Others. And so your driver, when you do that, is an Olympic driver usually, because they do those and take tourists down so they can get as many reps
runs
as
in.
possible.
Sure, yeah.
Let me ask you guys this question.
Because an untrained driver could kill the whole
Luke,
crew.
can you come back with us after the break? Can we talk about millionaire?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so I'd like to stick with Olympics for 1 second. And you guys can text in and let us know what you would do as well. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line. I haven't given you guys any time to think about this, but I just had this thought. If you could pick one sport that you were going to hyper-focus on, one Olympic, and it's got to be, let's stick with winter because it is winter.
Olympics. Not bobsled.
If you could pick one sport that you could hyper-focus on and you'd have like maybe a month to become semi-decent.
Okay, just a month?
Okay, 2 months.
Give me 4 years.
Okay, 4 years.
4 years. What could I compete in 4 years from now?
If you were going to hyper-focus on one sport, what would it be?
Curling.
Oh, curling.
Curl easily.
Why curling?
Because I've got a good sense of proportion and space. I used to throw shuffleboard all the time.
There you go.
You know, and if I figured I'd transfer those skills to curling, I could probably figure it out.
Made that movie yet? Like a movie, like you remember Mark Wahlberg, who's just like the teacher who was out of a job in the 1970s, Invincible.
Oh, Invincible! He became he became a Philadelphia Eagle. Yeah.
Isn't there some guy who has been like he's just like a drunk in a bar?
He's a shuffleboard guy. The movie's called Quake for It. Quate is what you throw in shuffleboard.
I'm surprised you guys haven't talked about the ski jump controversy.
Eddie Neagle.
Maybe you have.
Oh, you mean the extra padding and this? Yeah.
Acid in your genitalia?
Right.
My first day back. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah. No, we talked about it extensively.
You were sleeping. You were sleeping off the Super Bowl.
That's
Luke,
right.
what would be your sport?
Curling sounds pretty good. You can do it with friends. Maybe cross country skiing with shooting. What is they called biathlon?
Yeah.
Because you can shoot stuff.
Ski and shoot.
That's a lot of work.
Totally. That's why you said 2 months. I was like, there's no way. I couldn't even make one lap.
I could do 2 months. Give me 2 months for curling. I don't need 4 years.
The pickleball of ice, I'll be honest. I feel like you could get fairly decent at it in a short amount of time.
There'd be beer involved and stuff. You know,
yeah.
So with your buddies. Yeah.
But if you're doing cross-country skiing and shooting, good eyesight you got to have. And also, you got to be pretty good. Yeah. Have you been cross-country skiing?
No.
No, thank you.
No, I can't take the required infidelity of cross-country. You heard that guy's story, right?
Skiing downhill is tough.
Yeah.
Try cross-country skiing on flat ground.
No, thanks. No,
even
thanks.
some uphills?
Yeah.
Forget it. At least they give you a gun. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Luke's going to stick around. We're going to talk about this millionaire tax. We'll be right back.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations, it's Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-230-2777.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply. Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got Luke Ducey. He's sticking around with us for a couple minutes. The millionaire tax was passed out of the Senate. They finally did. Here's the vote. Let me play a little bit of this. This is the bill passing, and then we'll talk to Luke Ducey about it.
Mr. President, there are 27 yea, 22 nay.
I received a constitutional majority, and gross substitute Senate Bill 6346 is declared passed. The title of the bill will be the title of the act.
Oh, my God. We finally really did it. You maniac! Oh, damn you! Damn you all!
I love that scene. The Olympia Capitol Dome just sticking out of the sand there like that.
Just a complete desolation because all of the money that keeps all that stuff up.
What was the one's name? Fergie. Fergie was the woman who wouldn't talk, right? That was her name, Fergie.
That was it. Luke, tell us a little bit about this, and then we can yell at each other about it.
Sure. It's amazing you capture the audio like you do. I didn't hear that quite but it's to me
Yeah,
it was
listen
there.
close.
It was
We do it for the people.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, this is a 9.9% tax on individuals or households earning more than $1 million a year. It's not a tax on your overall wealth, but it's just per taxable year. And I think there are three basic debates that are unfolding here between Democrats and GOP and our listeners and a lot of people across the state, right? So I won't play any audio, but Democrats like Jamie Peterson say the tax will generate $3 billion annually to help fund health care and education, things like that. But GOP senators like Chris Gildon say, no, it won't necessarily because you can't earmark this money for those things. It goes into the general fund. So that's one debate. Number two, and here's where we get a little nerdy, is this bill unconstitutional or constitutional? So state courts have repeatedly, defined income as property. And the state constitution requires property to be taxed uniformly. They'll argue if this, and we should say when this goes to court, because it probably will pass and become law, and then it'll be in court forever. They're going to argue that a graduated tax targeting only millionaires would therefore need a constitutional amendment to go through. Supporters will say, though, and they'll try to argue that the state Supreme Court's ruling that was recently over the capital gains tax as an excise tax upholds here as well, that perhaps the millionaires tax is crafted as an excise tax, not an income tax. And then finally, many in the GOP say, if this passes, we're going to see businesses and top earners pack up and move to other states. Remember, again, the capital gains tax was passed. Jeff Bezos left Washington, moved to Florida. CNBC estimates he saved some $610 million in capital gains tax selling stock in Florida instead of Washington. There are studies, though, that show that these taxes cause revenue volatility in a lot of states that have already passed similar bills, but not necessarily a deficit or deficit spending.
What's interesting about it, too, is they had the opportunity. Was it an amendment that was pushed where they could lock it in at $1 million, and then they said no. They said, we're not going to lock it in at $1 million.
Peterson said he didn't want to handcuff future legislators.
Yeah.
That was his rationale for not wanting to lock it in, that they won't take the bottom out of this, lower the taxable threshold.
Correct.
Which is come on. Seriously,
exactly.
Lock it in and then make them break the lock.
This should
Don't
be
just,
called, we hate millionaires and we hate professional, successful athletes in our state tax, because that's who's going to be paying for this thing.
It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue like millionaires tax. But
whip ass. That's what it is. Yeah.
Let me play you a little clip here. This is Jamie Peterson. He was on our show. This is just, what was this, maybe a week and a half ago? And we asked him about polling that he had that shows that this has a majority of support from Republicans, which I completely disagree with. And I think he's completely wrong. But here's what he had to say.
We have done now 4 rounds of polling on this, and in all cases, majorities of voters have indicated that they are.
Did you ask?
Are you only polling people in your office?
Did you ask anybody with money? I guess.
No, of course not.
We asked people with money. It's interesting.
We pressed him on it, and we talked about it with him, and he basically says he agrees with the polling, and he thinks that indeed
the polling's got some validity to it.
Baloney, Spike.
Yeah, okay. Well, Jim Walsh came on and said it was a push poll, and by definition it wasn't. But
let me tell you why it's baloney.
Okay.
I have evidence that it's baloney.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure.
Got a first name? Yays on the voter. This is a voter roll for everybody who voted for this. Alvarado, Democrat. Bateman, Democrat. Chapman, Democrat. I could read the whole list, but it's 27. They all have a D next to their name.
Okay.
Nays. All Republicans plus 3 Democrats who want to have a future in politics, I guess. But this is all Republicans voted against this. If indeed, as Peterson suggests, there is a majority of Republican voters who support a millionaire's tax, what are the odds that not a single Republican politician who is elected by said voters wouldn't sign on to this thing? Not a single one. Now, I'm only saying this because he was adamant about this, and I think it misrepresents how people actually feel about this. I don't think people like this.
Okay, well, I did some looking into the exact polling that was done by the Democratic Party of Washington. It was done by DHM out of Portland.
Democratic Party of Washington.
That's not what DHM is.
You just said.
No, the polling was done by the Democratic Party. They used an independent polling company out of Portland.
Gotcha.
They polled 500 people of differing political stripes.
Okay.
The polling questions they asked, because I looked into Jim Walsh's accusation, this was a push poll.
Sure.
Which is a poll seeking the results that you want. That's not what this was by any count. They had balanced questioning. They used independent research. The definition of the poll itself wasn't sponsored by anybody. It was an independent research company. But that being said, it's about people who don't have money, taxing people who do have money, regardless of their political stripe.
But do you honestly believe that a majority of Republicans, I mean, like, just because he said it doesn't mean it's true.
Well, the polling numbers came in, 54% of Republicans, 7% of Democrats, 56% overall support this.
56% support this. You believe that of Republicans?
Yeah.
On the pro versus con sign-in that people can do anytime one of these bills goes in, you can voice your support.
Do Republicans making $70,000 a year think we should tax millionaires? Yeah, I can believe that.
No, they don't. Yeah. I honestly don't believe. Maybe some. There might be some out there who have like a class envy thing. That's possible, but I think it's more likely.
I think everybody who said yes has a class envy thing. And I think if you poll 500 people, I'm not saying it's good.
We don't want to teach that to our children. We don't want to suggest that that's the best way to live.
There's a lot of things I don't want government teaching my children.
Here's the thing. Like, I fundamentally disagree that a majority of voters that think this is a good idea. Everybody I talk to about this, yourself excluded, thinks that this is a dangerous thing. They themselves won't even lock it in $1 million. And the thing that everybody is afraid of that will happen is that this will be lowered and lowered and lowered, the threshold.
Opposed to that.
Long, all the income tax. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's probably going to pass. And like Luke said, it's going to end up in court. And
do you know if it passes and it's enacted into law, but then challenged immediately, does it have to wait to be enacted?
It doesn't even go into effect till 29. So.
Yeah. So the governor will sign it, right? And then the next year, January, whatever, it would go into effect. But
it would go into effect pending litigation.
Yeah, and then someone has to file a lawsuit.
Okay.
This emergency.
So I think it has to go into effect, and then someone has to challenge it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which it will be challenged, obviously.
Oh yeah. I guarantee the state Supreme Court will ultimately make the final decision on this.
Yeah. All right, Luke, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for
talking
having
all
me.
Things Olympics and taxes. Tons of fun, man. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations to Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
For almost 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me, John Curley here. If comfort and energy savings matter to you, now is the time. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will replace your system with one tailored to your home's layout and energy optimization. Visit homecomfortalliance.com to save up to $2,000 on a Lennox and schedule a free consultation. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-230-2777.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Heather Bosch. DNA tests have been conducted on a glove found near the Arizona home of Nancy Guthrie, where she was last seen January 31st. More from CBS's Anna Schechter.
The DNA on the gloves is not matched to any known individual known to law enforcement. And we also learned that DNA recovered from the property is still undergoing analysis, and law enforcement does not know if the DNA on the glove matches the DNA recovered from Nancy Guthrie's property.
Investigators believe the glove belongs to a masked man spotted in a Ring camera at Guthrie's home. People are remembering the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who has died at the age of 84. CBS News Chicago reporter Darius Johnson is outside the civil rights organization Jackson founded.
I spoke to one woman earlier this morning who came here before daybreak, who really wanted to come here because she wanted to honor him as a leader, a man who she believes made way for so many people of color.
Because of all of them, you are able to go downtown and work at these jobs and not be maids and not work on trains because of all of these civil rights leaders.
Jackson marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man mistakenly deported once, cannot be detained again. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper explains.
A federal judge has ruled that Immigration and Customs Enforcement cannot re-detain Kilmar Abrego Garcia because a 90-day detention period has plan for deporting him. Since the Salvadoran national's return to the U.S. after he was mistakenly deported to a prison in his home country last year, he has been fighting a second deportation to a series of African countries proposed by Department of Homeland Security officials.
We're learning more about a shooting at a high school hockey game that left 2 adults dead in Rhode Island.
He was right across the street on a Pawtucket job site when what he called madness erupted.
And then everybody come running out yelling that there was someone shooting inside. The kids were running out still with their skates on, so you know something's wrong right away, like, oh my God.
A family dispute turned deadly when Roberta Esposito opened fire during a high school hockey game at Lynch Arena, killing 2 and critically wounding others.
Like, everybody's just going out of their mind and just... it's disgusting to me.
Chris Farmer for CBS News, Boston.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says his country is boosting defense spending.
We are announcing Canada's first ever defense industrial strategy. It's a bold plan to get our armed forces what they need when they need it.
The U.S. and other allies have long said Canada needs to spend more on defense. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Mayor Katie Wilson just wrapped up her first State of the City address. We'll explore one of her first topics next, but your KIRO News Radio traffic first. Linwood to Seattle, a 25-minute commute right now. We do have heavy volumes from 80th into downtown. We cleared our collision near Mercer that opens up a couple lanes for you, so this backup will only start to improve now. North 5, we are backed up from the West Seattle Bridge just past I-90. You got a little breathing room, and then just past Mercer, it's bumper to bumper across the Ship Canal Bridge. All added up, it's about 15 minutes to make it through downtown. And on the east side, South 405, we're packed from about Northeast 70th in Kirkland down to Northeast 8th, where we just cleared a collision out of your way. It's sitting there on the right shoulder. That's about a 3-mile backup. That's your KIRO News Radio traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Homelessness was one of the first topics Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson addressed in her first State of the City speech. She recently delayed the clearing of an encampment in Ballard.
And the conversations that I had there at the site really underscored the reality that we simply do not have enough housing, shelter, and services for everyone who is living unsheltered.
She says delaying the removal of that camp gave the city some time to find 6 people housing, but Wilson says the city still needs to do better. Seattle's Chinatown International District will be in the spotlight when the U.S. Postal Service unveils a new Bruce Lee Forever stamp. The ceremony happens tomorrow at the historic Nippon Con Theater, just steps from where Bruce Lee once lived, trained, and opened his first U.S. martial arts school. Lee's daughter, Shannon Lee, will headline the event, which is free and open to the public. The stamp features Bruce Lee's iconic flying kick set against a yellow brushstroke. A recent crash at Rucker Avenue and 37th Street in Everett sent an SUV smashing into a local tattoo shop. The collision destroyed the shop's windows and doors and briefly sparked a fire. KIRO 7 spoke with a nearby business owner who says drivers often don't pay attention at that intersection.
I give them a 3-4 second delay before I head through that intersection just to make sure nobody's coming. So it's been take your life in your hands sometimes going through there.
The Dragon Koi tattoo shop will be temporarily closed. The IRS says you should expect more money in your tax returns this year as a result of President Trump's recent tax bill. KIRO 7's Dee Dee Sun has the details.
The latest figures from the IRS show that this year's average tax refund is just over $2,200, up nearly 11% from last year's average. But the biggest benefits are likely to go to the top 10% of earners. The final average is likely to be higher as higher earners tend to file later.
The deadline to file your taxes is April 15th unless you request an extension. Police in Fife are searching for a missing man who's known to appear confused. Christopher Reddick, 53, was last seen Thursday on East Park Street. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 190 pounds, wearing a black beanie, gray coat, black pants. The Washington State Patrol says he could be driving a dark gray 2008 Nissan Xterra. The plate number is CTY 9875. If you spot him, police want you to call 911. After 6 years of work, MultiCare is ready to open the new Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. The Tacoma Hospital will welcome its first patients May 16th. It's been a long road to get here. The project was first announced in 2020, but pandemic-era supply chain problems drove up costs. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, the final price tag hit $480 million, well above the original estimate of $344 million. Mary Bridge serves more than 100,000 children every year. It's the only Level 2 pediatric trauma center in Western Washington. And now your KIRO News Radio weather, 44 and scattered showers this afternoon. A slim chance of a rain-snow mix. More chance of snow overnight when we dip to 30. This is our forecast through the week with cooler temps heading into Friday. 42 and partly sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of great stuff to dive into, which we will momentarily. We got some audio. We're going to play for you in just a second, some audio of a high school student who got arrested locally here. I don't know if you guys covered this yesterday, Spike, but we'll get into it in a second. It was at one of those protests during school. We will discuss, but first, you see what I'm doing right now? Can you guys hear me in the audience?
You're drinking coffee? Sweet
coffee.
Hot
coffee.
Nice.
I put a lot of cream in it, so I like my coffee, like myself, blonde.
Okay. Interesting. Good choice.
What do you drink in your coffee?
Like my women, cold and bitter.
Cold and bitter.
Yeah.
Nice. But still caffeinated?
The truly unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill. Cold,
you and me
bitter,
are both doing good brain work then. Did you see this study? This is from Harvard and MIT, so pretty good. You ever heard of them? They analyzed 130,000 people and found that people who drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day. Now, believe it or not, 130,000 is actually a fairly small sample size.
Really? Okay.
There's larger studies that would be, useful to dig into, but it's not nothing. 130,000 people, and if you drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day, or if you're a tea drinker and you drink caffeinated tea that's 1 to 2 cups a day, you have a 20% lower risk of getting dementia in old age.
Really?
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Just from drinking coffee, which... there's studies all the time that talk about is it good for your blood pressure?
Sure,
Yada,
there
yada.
are pros and cons for drinking this much coffee.
I'm sure, but but you're fighting off mental, whatever
Dementia,
that is.
yeah.
I need to drink more coffee. I can't think of words.
Sorry.
Acuity.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that a word?
Diminished acuity.
Diminished acuity. So they said of the 131,821 participants, 11,033 developed dementia, which when you compare that to general population is like an 18% lower risk of dementia compared to those who report little or no caffeinated coffee consumption or tea as well. I guess that applies as well. I don't know. They didn't say in the study whether or not that applies to, there are other drinks that are caffeinated that people are drinking a lot of. Like you think about any of those like energy drinks that
your
have
Monsters,
caffeine.
your Red Bulls, your whatnots. Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of studies saying that those are good for your long-term brain health. But
those people are on their 20s and teens.
But they're all, but I assume a lot of these coffee drinkers must also be younger people.
We keep drinking it. I think you probably age out of energy drinks, I would hope. People age out of the crazy cans and the Red Bull lifestyles.
When did you start drinking coffee?
Probably not till my mid-20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably.
Well, I worked at a coffee place, which is when I started drinking it. So I was like 17, maybe 16 at the time.
I was a bartender till my mid-20s, so I didn't want to be up.
So you just drank early?
Yeah, I drank early, often. And I was up till sunrise.
There's no study saying that that's good for your dementia risk.
Yeah, many little old ladies in Italy don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
That's true.
Give me liquor.
No, you're right. That's one of those blue zones where they're just like living a long time. They have those, I think they have one in Italy where they live a very long time because they eat a lot of fish and they eat a lot of fresh foods.
A lot of oils.
A lot of oils.
Yep. The Mediterranean diet, they call it. Yeah.
Basically just drinking oil, which
and wine.
Doesn't sound horrible.
Nope. The sunsets are nice.
Yeah. It's a pretty nice life. You got a good life. My wife gets mad at me. This is a little insight. She goes, you got to play more drops. You say a lot of drops, but you don't play them. I say, well, they're tough.
So your wife's not a consultant for the show. This is good news for us.
I was like, but I'm, I'm doing other stuff. And when I think of one, I just don't, it's not at my fingertips. I have to like pre-think that what I might need, or there's like little boards that we have that I can preload these things, but I don't.
Speed keys, they call them, or something right there.
It's a lot
just
of
right
work
there.
ahead of time.
Next thing you know, we're a morning zoo.
Yeah.
You got a bowl sound.
So
a
when
chicken,
I say,
a goat.
you got a good life,
Right.
I think people get it.
Yeah.
You know?
You do a good Michael Scott.
It's Michael Scott from The Office. Instantly recognizable.
Sure, I get it.
And yet every time when she's listening, which is not all the time, but every time I do one of those, she goes, you did it again.
Jeez, a whiz, man. Well, it's nice to get feedback.
Is
right?
it?
Yes.
Is it nice to get feedback?
Yes, it is. I've been telling myself that for 35 years. It's good to get feedback.
Here's the thing.
Little course corrections. Keep the family happy.
Spike, you and I are this is a very strange business to make your business because it does open itself up to criticism. Nobody's walking up to a CPA going like, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Like a CPA's wife, when he gets home at night, doesn't go, you know what, about those numbers.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. She's doing something else. But when when somebody goes, you got a good life, then you go home, your wife goes, I got an idea. And then we got to say thank you.
Oh.
Is this too much information? Am I revealing too much?
No. I
love my wife. People know that.
People love the transparency.
Yeah.
And she obviously has an eye for talent.
She's obviously
got you, right?
Absolutely.
She obviously knows knows quality when she sees and hears it.
She knows quality and handsomeness. That's what she knows.
So let's get that speed key loaded up with you got a good life.
You got it. And then you know what I say to her when she says, gives me ideas? I say, you got a good life. She loves that joke. All right, let's move on to some other stuff. This was in Enumclaw. I was gone. Did you guys talk about this on the show?
We did not. I saw the story. We didn't get to it yesterday.
Okay, so this was Friday. Mm-hmm. You have at Enumclaw High School, Aaron Granilla wrote up a really good piece. You guys can read about this on mynorthwest.com. Spike, you and I have had disagreements on whether or not that we want our high school kids out protesting things like ICE. I don't think it's a good idea. For very good reasons, you have made the argument that, hey, it's nice that kids are civically engaged.
Civic activity is not a bad thing per se, and it's moved the needle in American culture and society so many times. It doesn't need mentioning again.
The thing that I want to say that I do think is a dangerous thing. So, like, when this thing first started, it was obviously this is not the first high school protest. I understand that, but it first made news locally here with this anti-ICE stuff. Mm-hmm. Was it Macklemore who was posting about, like, hey, everybody should go out and stop?
Well, that was the national day, right?
The national day.
No work, no walkout, no shopping.
And they were saying kids should walk out of school, which I thought was a bad idea. Mm-hmm. And then they were saying, and you should also not shop at local businesses, which also I thought was misguided, because why should a local business be hurt because you want to send a message to ICE? Like that, I don't see where those two things add up, but whatever. But the thing that I did not like about suggesting that high school kids and young kids, middle school kids even, I saw elementary schools being walked out with teachers. The thing that I don't like
providing them signs, some cases.
Yeah, providing them signs, which I assume were made with school property, which again was
craft hour turned into blank ICE signs.
I saw, this is crazy. We didn't cover the story, but I saw a local teacher. I don't even want to name the district because I was so incensed about it. A local teacher put on a board one of these anti-ICE boards where they were talking about their protests.
Social media posting?
Social media thing. She said, hey, I'm a teacher at a school, and if you want my special needs kids to help you make signs, I'll volunteer them. That to me is a fireable offense. Absolutely. And you should not be using school resources for these things. You should not be volunteering special needs kids. These are not controversial things that I'm saying here. These are very normal thoughts.
Not without parental consent. I mean, it seems, even, if parents say, I want my kids involved in this, that's different.
Listen, involving parents is a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the thing that happened in Enumclaw, and this was Friday, Enumclaw police officers were alerted because a man reported that he had been assaulted. We played video like a week ago of a mom who got in a similar situation in this squad. She shows up with a camera. She gets in the kid's face, which she has a right to do because they're doing
They're protesting.
They're out protesting. They want to, play like big kids. They're going to have to live up to the same things. Somebody puts a camera in one of the kid's face. The lady gets her hair pulled and assaulted, and a local police officer there says, I can't do anything about it because, basically we don't want to get involved in this whole scrum, which is ridiculous. But this guy says that he went and he showed up and he was assaulted. He then showed police video of the suspect who was described as a 17-year-old girl. Officers recognized this person from other contacts they said that they had with her in the past. Again, 17-year-old kid. Come on. Officers moved into the crowd. This is from Aaron's report. As the officers moved towards the crowd to take the juvenile female into custody, she saw them coming and took off running. That's when a small scuffle, this is all from Aaron's thing on My Northwest, read about it there. That's when a small scuffle took place in the middle of the road. Floyd said and that's Enumclaw Police Chief Tim Floyd. Floyd said a second female student tried to pull the assault suspect away from officers. A social media video shows a crowd of protesters following police as officers walk the two students to jail. Floyd says just because you're involved in a quote-unquote peaceful protest, it doesn't give anybody a free hall pass to commit violence. And the lack of maturity that's being displayed took it from just a First Amendment protest to speak your mind to a confrontation that became a crime. Now, as a result of this, both kids were released back to their parents.
Yeah.
King County Juvenile Detention Center did not determine that they needed to be booked.
Right. Didn't meet booking criteria.
So they were released back to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have with this whole thing is these are very young minds. I have no problem with somebody not agreeing with what ICE is doing. That's not even really the issue. The issue is we all recognize as a society that the best place for young people to be is in school to learn so that they then can better themselves. And when they're adults, they can be making more adult decisions. But if they're out on the street, she should have been in school. And this is the audio I want to play for you because my heart was broken for this girl. She did a stupid thing, allegedly. And I should say allegedly because I assume it's still being investigated. But she does a stupid thing, and then she's being pulled away and arrested. And now you're talking about trying to stop police from making an arrest. There's another one being arrested for assault. If they had been in school, none of this would have happened. And this is the audio of the girl being taken away. Did you watch this video too?
I did. I saw it.
Did you have the same reaction I did? You're just like, this poor thing.
Well, yeah, this is a child. This is a child.
A child.
I'm not crazy about playing, to be honest with you. It's a child who was in a moment of immaturity and extreme distress, brought on by her own actions of assault.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, don't put them in a situation. Like, I don't let my kids drive a car because I know that that's too much for them to handle. It's not good for a 10-year-old to drive a car.
Yeah, but I got to push back just for a second because much like the video we played last week, these are kids protesting, and we could debate many times how
we're going to disagree on this.
How much time does a
forever.
kid should a kid spend out of school? Kids shouldn't be out of school every day protesting. That's ridiculous. Should a kid experience civil activity and voicing their First Amendment rights? There's no age limit on it. But that being said,
yeah, if a parent wants to give permission,
parents give permission. Yeah,
I think parents should have to give permission. And the school doesn't have to excuse it.
No, school does not excuse organized protests, and they shouldn't. I don't think it's a parental family decision to make.
They did put forward a new bill this session, though, to make it a mandatory excused absence.
Well, that's debatable.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, it's debatable.
But go ahead.
My point is this: these kids were out on the street protesting, and they were antagonized by an adult. This guy brought film to an officer showing this kid assaulting him. Mm-hmm. He was filming these kids protesting. He probably, I don't know, I'm assuming, much like last week's tape, which we had video evidence of, an adult gets in a scrum of kids to collect social media content, which is their right.
Sure.
But at what point does an adult who's supposed to be responsible by law, at what point do they, you don't interact with kids?
Well, she didn't break any laws.
But neither did the kids protesting. Until there was a confrontation.
Until there was an assault.
Until there was a confrontation, there was an antagonistic move by that lady, and there may have been in this one too. Why did the kid assault the guy with the camera? We don't know. I don't know. And I'm not excusing assault.
I know you're not.
I'm not excusing assault.
Yeah.
But these kids they weren't out in the street like attacking people. They were out there protesting. Someone got in their face with a camera. They resorted to an emotional response of violence, which is illegal and should be.
Let me play you this audio of this girl being arrested. This is the result of this. I mean, we're just going to see more and more of these. If kids are constantly
if adults will leave kids alone to protest, maybe we won't see more and more of these.
I disagree. I think it's going to keep happening more and more. But here's what happened. She's being led away.
In handcuffs.
I want my mommy. I want my mommy. Here's an isolated version of that. Do you know what it reminded me of?
What?
As soon as I saw that video, I was like, why does that look so familiar to me? Because obviously you and I vastly disagree on this, and that's fine. You can text us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Let us know your thoughts. 888-973-5476. It reminded me of this scene from a very famous movie. And in my head, I was like, I swear that I have heard this exact statement before. Where have I heard it? And then it hit me right before the show. And you tell me if this is a fair comparison or if I'm reaching here, but I felt like this was kind of close.
Did that come out of me? Oh. Huh?
You recognize this yet?
I don't.
You'll get it.
What's going on? I've been double-crossed! Help! Help! Somebody help! I've been framed! Help! Please! You gotta help me! Oh, be a pal! Call that needle! Call anybody!
Is this Pinocchio? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He turns into a jackass or a donkey.
Yeah.
That haunted me when I was a kid. That scene.
It should. Well, and that's a cautionary tale.
That's a cautionary tale. And the cautionary tale for these kids.
Games.
Here's the thing. These kids who are going out to these protests, I'm not undermining the fact that they feel like they want to make a difference. I have no problem with that. God bless these kids. I disagree with what they're protesting, but that's fine. We live in a free country. They're very young. And I do worry. I've seen video after video, and it's not just adults getting involved in this either. I saw a kid the other day curb stomp another kid at a protest.
That's horrible. Oh, it's horrible.
They're in a situation where they should be governed. We recognize that kids who are truant from school have a less potential in life than kids who are in school. We see that all the time.
Yeah, it's fair to say.
And so the idea that they're out of school protesting these things puts them in a dangerous position. There are other ways to express yourself than to do what you are required by law to do as a kid, which is to show up and be in school.
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's totally valid.
And I just worry that we're going to see more and more situations like this. So let's knock it off, guys. Let's let the kids be kids, for crying out loud. Discourage bad activity. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Next, can we talk about? I know we did a little Olympics coverage last hour.
Yeah.
This curling controversy. You will never be more entertained by curling, which is already kind of entertaining, actually, if you watch it late at night.
It's interesting. It is, and you got a lot of questions when you watch a curling match. The broom. What's the broom? What are they doing? It makes perfect sense.
When you see it, when it's explained.
I want to know the origin of curling.
I can tell you.
Oh, really? You know? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, was it drunks in a bar?
It was not drunks in a bar. But
that's what I'm thinking.
I can tell you the origin of curling and the current curling controversy that is sweeping the internet by storm is the most entertaining thing you're going to hear all day. All right, stick around. We got audio. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast. They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations to Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus free home delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere. And if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson has just wrapped up her first State of the City address. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch was there.
In what she described as the longest speech of her life, Mayor Katie Wilson detailed her plans for an array of city improvements that she says will make life better for people who live and work in the city. Top of the list, gun violence.
In the coming days, my office will convene a panel of local and national experts who will develop and launch a strategy that is grounded in a clear understanding of Seattle's gun violence problem and is tailored to the needs of our neighborhoods.
The mayor also touched on affordability, homelessness, and ICE. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
We turn now to the closing bell report. Thousands of peanut butter products are being recalled nationwide, including here in Washington. FDA says more than 20,000 single-serve peanut butter packets, also PB&J combo packs, are affected. The items were made by Ventura Foods, which discovered pieces of blue plastic in a production filter. You can find a full list of those recalled products at mynorthwest.com. Major financial firm is talking about a sluggish labor market, saying it is a big risk to economic growth in the U.S. CBS's Jason Brooks explains.
Goldman Sachs chief economist says in a client note that the labor market forecast is tilted towards a worse outcome, with labor demand not looking very healthy, job growth weak and narrow, and job openings too low and appear to be trending lower. Goldman Sachs is concerned that payroll growth has been narrowly confined to the healthcare industry and is more of an issue now than in past years because of the possibility of a faster and more disruptive deployment of artificial intelligence.
The wait is over for chicken finger lovers in Seattle. Raising Cane's opened today in the University District. It is the brand's first location in the Puget Sound region. On Wall Street today, some modest gains. Both the Dow and NASDAQ up about 32 points. S&P ahead by 7. Takes us to 1:32, and we have Nate Connors now at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to us by the KIRO Newsradio app. In South Center, we've got a big crash. It's North 5 at South 178th, blocking 2 left lanes. Had a third lane blocked for a little bit, but this includes the HOV lane. And right now, you're in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at South 216th. Federal to Seattle at 35 minutes, about a 15-minute delay. Once you get past this, you're clear until you get into downtown. And then North 5, it has improved, but it's still a little crowded there at the I-90 interchange. And then again, just past Mercer, it's bumper-to-bumper across the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on 12 minutes to clear all this. South 5 still slows from the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle will take you 20 minutes. And on the east side, South 405 and Northeast 8th in Bellevue, we've got a collision blocking the exit lanes to Northeast 8th. And now you can still maneuver around them to access the ramp, and another backup through Factoria. It's 20 minutes from Bellevue to Renton. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Out of your forecast, after some morning flurries in certain spots today, we are seeing temperatures reach the upper 40s this afternoon. Could be some showers overnight that could produce a little bit of a wintry mix. Right now, 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the Olympics. This controversy is sweeping the world.
I like what you did there.
Nice. You like that? Curling is one of those sports that I never pay attention to until it's on at the Olympics. It's not. I mean, it's not like a basketball or another baseball or anything that's televised.
You didn't play it as kids. You didn't get in the street and throw the stone down the street with your buddies.
When I was a kid,
the old man yells, "Where's my broom?"
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, just like you and I, we probably had similar upbringings. You and I probably had the same
weekends at the tennis club.
Sure. Golf lessons, or sailing lessons. And
I know you're kidding.
But I didn't do any curling. No. It was mostly
we played in the street, right, with friends, in a field with friends, on a school lot with friends. Throw a ball around, pass the ball around,
toss a ball.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And never equestrian lessons in Baltimore City.
Well, yeah, equestrian lessons. I mean,
we didn't have that.
No, you didn't. Most people don't have that. And the sailing lessons were I didn't even do sailing past 14 because I knew I wasn't a yachtsman. I knew it wasn't going to happen.
It wasn't for you.
People could tell. They said this guy.
Coaches didn't tell your parents on training up for some travel teams.
Said he's not a strong swimmer.
Aren't all yachting travel teams, by the way?
That's true. Well, I wasn't, which gives you some sense of how good I was. All right, so in curling. At the Olympics, there's a controversy going on right now because apparently one of the players did a no-no. And the rules of curling are also, as you watch it, curling to me is like when I watch cricket. I guess I understand curling better, but if I watch cricket on TV or a video clip or something, because, again, we don't have a ton of local cricket,
right?
Although the sport is growing in popularity, but nationally, it's a super famous sport.
Sure, global.
Curling.
Absolutely.
In Canada is a massively famous sport. They have curling on TV year-round. You can watch curling competitions.
Crazy.
And you asked earlier about the origins of curling.
I did.
Curling goes all the way back to Scotland in the 16th century. The earliest known curling reference was from some manuscript from 1541.
Really?
Yes. And they talk about sliding stones on the ice. And then curling was then brought by migrants from Scotland to Canada.
Wow.
And the first North American curling club was opened up in the early 1800s. They've had it forever. This is another fun fact. When you watch curling on TV or anywhere that you see curling, for it to be an official curling stone, every single one of those stones comes from the granite that is mined off of the same island off the coast of Scotland. This island yes, it's called the Isle Craig.
Okay.
Isle Craig, I don't know how you pronounce it, Isle Craig. But it's an island just off the coast, and every single rock that they compete with all around the world is from that same. Yes, so the Scottish people have and the British people and the Canadians who are closely tied to the Scots. They have almost an ancestral connection to curling.
That's fantastic.
Which is why it's so serious in Canada. They love that sport in Canada. You can be a year-round curler in Canada, which is interesting. So what happens was this match that was taking place between the Canadians, the Canadian men, and the Swedish team. All of a sudden, as you're watching this match take place, you see the Swedish guys after the curling stone has been delivered and it's gone down to the house, which is the rings. That's where they're trying to get it to.
The targets, bullseye.
The targets, yeah. The bullseye. They call the house.
Okay.
It gets down there, and one of the Swedish guys says this to the Canadian guy. He says, apparently we're allowed to pass the hog line now. The hog line is much like bowling. Think of bowling.
Yeah, like a foul line.
The foul line.
Yeah.
Same deal in curling. And then they had this exchange. Listen to this.
Apparently it's okay touching the rock after the hog line. I don't know. Or touching the rock.
Who's doing it?
You don't know it?
Who?
It's a couple.
Who? I haven't done it once. You can off.
You haven't done it once?
I haven't done it once.
Okay. I'll show you a video after the game.
How about you walking around on my peel on the last day and dancing around the house here? How about that? Come on, Oscar. Just
to show you a video?
I don't give a They were standing here. They didn't call it. Yeah, go.
Wow. is getting pretty spicy. It's getting
It's the Olympics.
pretty hot out there on the
This
ice.
is the culmination of a lifelong dream. Olympic curling.
Is it the most entertaining curling you've ever heard in your life?
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Oh
So
my
the
gosh.
Canadian guy you're hearing there is a guy named Mark Kennedy. He's the one who released the stone. The guy who's accusing him is Sweden's Oscar Eriksson. These are both great, like very regional names.
Yeah, man.
Swedish Eriksson.
3 Ks,
Canadian
4 S's. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Canadian.
It's the
Mark with a
greatest.
C, Kennedy. Couldn't look more Canadian. But he doesn't talk like a Canadian.
He swears like a Canadian. It's funny you mentioned he doesn't talk like a Canadian because this was brought up for the Olympics Rules Committee about. Here's the deal on touching the stone after the hog line.
Yep.
I looked into this too when I saw this, which is a great video. There's a sensor in the handle of a curling stone because you hold the stone by its handle and you slide it down the ice and release it by the hog line.
Which is the last spot you're supposed to touch.
Right, that hog line. But you're allowed, there's no penalty for touching the stone.
If it's a brush.
If it's just a brush. But
you're not supposed to direct it in
poke
any
it
way.
with your finger, which doesn't set off the electronic sensor, automatically fouling you for passing the hog line. So it seems like the Canadians may have found a workaround for the rules.
Well, no, this is definitely, if you watch the video, they're supposed to fully release, the rule is you're supposed to fully release the curling stone. We're all experts now, obviously.
This is great. That's why I love the Olympics.
You're supposed to fully release the curling stone by the time it touches the front of the hog line, right?
Yes.
So as you can clearly see in the video, and here's the other tricky part about this. Curling is not governed the same way that other sports are governed. It's not like it's not like an umpire behind the plate to make sure
calls,
that's calls
right,
and strikes,
right.
or balls and strikes. It's self-governed. So you're supposed to call things on your it's a game of honor.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There are judges at the end near the house that can rule on things. Like in this case, they said, well, we don't have enough evidence to say that he actually did a double touch, so we're not going to rule against him. If they had been ruled against, they would take that stone off the ice, which is, obviously what you don't want. That stone wouldn't count. But what he does in the video, and this is the part that's kind of crazy, is the Swedes set up a camera so that they could see whether or not. So there must have been some inclination that
he'd been doing it. Yeah,
inclination that he would do this. And so they have this super slow-mo video of him releasing the stone, and then his finger drops down, which is a normal motion to drop your finger down as you're releasing it. But then he extends his index finger, his pointer finger, and he pushes the stone just
pokes
a little bit, just a tiny little tap, tiny tap, just a touch.
Tappity tap.
Tap, taparoo. That would have been a great drop. Now my wife. And so then the whole world explodes talking about it. And then this was him. He's being questioned by a journalist after the fact for this double touch that he says he didn't do. And this is a Swedish journalist, so you take that with a grain of salt and listen to this.
I have 50 videos of people. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. That's good though. We've talked about this so much. It's been beaten to a pulp. It's very unfortunate that it's come up here at the Olympics. I mean, all the teams right now are allowed to call out a game official if they're having trouble. If Czechia was not happy with something, they were more than welcome to call a game official. That's the way the game should be. I can guarantee you there's not one double touch out there that is done with the intent of cheating.
Okay, so that is a different thing that he just said. A double touch done with the intent of cheating. So now at first he yelled, listen to what he was screaming. I didn't touch it twice.
Apparently it's okay touching the rock after the hog line. I don't know. Or touching the rock.
Who's doing it?
You don't know it?
Who?
It's a couple.
Who? I haven't done it once. You can off.
You haven't done it once?
I haven't done it once.
Okay. I'll show you a video after the game.
How about you walking around on my peel on the last day and dancing around the house here? How about that? Come on, Oscar. Just
to show you a video?
I don't give a They were standing here. They didn't call it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, go.
So that's a long way from I didn't do it, F off, is what he says,
yeah.
to then saying I didn't do it with the intention of cheating.
Right, which is a complete mea culpa.
That's
He
a complete
totally
different
changed that. He goes, now that we know that there's video of you doing it,
Yes.
I can show you 1,000 videos of guys touching the stone after the hog line. Really? You poked it with your finger.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it sure looks like.
Clearly.
There's 2 accusations now in different matches against them.
Okay,
Again, for
the
this.
Canadians.
And the Canadians women's team has now also been accused of this, and the Canadian women actually were penalized during match play for this.
So there's a coaching thing. But Canadians are being coached to do this, right? It works.
I don't know that that's the case.
It's
I mean, that's all
self-policing.
allegations. I would not say those things. Those are not legal
Fair enough.
assessments. Those are just speculations.
So they decided should the Olympic Committee assign more judges to watch these matches? Here's what the Olympic Committee said. It's still an honors game. People still need to self-report violations.
Yeah, but if they're not being honorable, then that doesn't work anymore.
You know what was cited for this incident? What the Olympic Committee did cite the Canadians for? Conduct unbecoming a Canadian. I swear to God.
For the swearing?
They got cited for the language and the swearing, not for the double touching of the stones.
It'd be funny if the conduct unbecoming of a Canadian only applied to Canadians. Like everybody else is allowed to swear.
Allowed to swear and throw beer.
You're supposed to be nice.
Come on, Canada.
You Canucks.
Knuckleheads. Come on.
I'm going to be following this. So Canada has moved on. They beat the Swiss in that.
So now I got to know when's the next match. I got to set my TVR.
So they were in a round robin. The Canadian team beat them 8-6, and Team USA men are also crushing right now. And so these two teams might
Tainted Stones.
At some point. Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
it's a fun sport.
The movie now, the Netflix series.
I know.
Tainted Stones.
Big Stones. The controversy of Team Canada. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. This next story is wild. If you have kids, if you ever use those claw machines, kids ever use those growing
on
up?
the boardwalk, you bet. Yeah.
Watch out.
Oh, at every pizza place you ever go to. Yeah.
Be careful. Every store now
Yeah,
has them. Just, golly. Watch out, folks. They're a danger. We'll tell you about it. Stick around.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast. They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations, it's Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
Well, folks, the rainy season is back. It's time to give your friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction a call. They're your trusted roofing leader. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction, of course, speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free during the rainy season here in the Northwest. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a free assessment or video inspection today. Check out the numerous number of raving reviews. Ones from me, I can tell you that they did my job beyond compare. Unbelievable. Their skilled teams deliver exceptional work, whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't let the next storm hit. Give them a call today, 206-202-ROOF, or find them online at integrityrc.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA!
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day?
Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
File your taxes for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. File on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. Valid for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
For nearly 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me. John Curley here. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Schedule your free consultation at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance.
Welcome back to the show. I'm at an age right now, Spike, with my kids. Every time we go into, they have them at Safeway now. They have them at Fred Meyer. They've had them since I was a child too. Little like quarter machines that you, although they're not a quarter anymore. They are. No. So they have now very expensive little machines that you can go in, like the claw machines. People try to grab stuff out of the claw things.
One of my fondest memories was from when I was maybe 5 years old on the boardwalk in Ocean City, Maryland, winning a prize that I gave to my dad. I won the claw machine.
Oh my gosh, that's sweet.
A lighter shaped like a golf club head.
Are you kidding?
I swear to you. Got
you
it in
give
the
a
claw
lighter
machine.
to a child?
Well, no, I got it out of the claw machine. I put a quarter in. I grabbed a lighter shaped like a golf club head. Right? My old man didn't even play golf or smoke.
But he started both.
He started smoking.
Yeah.
I got this lighter. No, but that's how long claw machines are part of American culture.
Totally.
Yeah,
and they're also the bane of every parent's existence because
I didn't realize this was a thing.
Yes. Well, they're everywhere now. There was
not the claw machines. Today's story.
Oh, today's story.
I didn't realize this was a thing.
There was a kid in Missouri who saw one of these claw machines, and like every kid, you want what's inside the claw machine. That's the point of them.
That's why they're made of glass.
You generally, yeah, you're right. They don't keep people from seeing what's inside.
Mystery box.
Although mystery boxes are very popular. Yeah. Like the most popular toys for kids now are those little like mystery boxes that they can open and like they might be some rando thing.
Never know what's inside.
Yeah, it's super fun. Anyway, 2-year-old kid in Missouri. He is at one of these like play areas that they have all this stuff, and mom looks around. His mom's name is Margaret, and she's looking around. She's like, "Where's Cooper? Where'd Coopy go?"
Well, the reason she's looking around is because they're at the Veta Sports Soccer Dome in Webster Grove, Missouri. They're watching their 7-year-old play in a soccer game at the sports complex.
And the sports complex often have soccer fields, play fields. A lot of them are inside, and then they also have like video game areas, arcades,
machines. Pizzas.
And so this kid, she turns around, and in like 15 seconds that she was not looking at him, he climbed into a. Yeah, you raised the same eye that I did.
Thank you. Yeah. What's the acceptable time limit without having to call CPS?
He climbed into a claw machine. I don't know how he got in. I mean, the openings must have been massive.
You got to be a wiry little 2-year-old.
Or he's like a what's that little mouse's name that
Stuart Little?
Stuart Little.
Yeah.
Unless she's raising a cartoon mouse.
Mickey.
This is a not full grown. He's a 2-year-old kid, but he's like an average sized 2-year-old kid. How do you get inside one of these? And the video is local police in Webster Groves, Missouri, standing outside this claw machine, wondering, like, how do you get this kid out? They're just pumping quarters into it. Like,
kid's got these scratch marks on his head.
He's like, nope, didn't get me this time.
Quit fighting it.
Yeah. So obviously they figured out how to get him out of the machine. Those are all, they can unlock those from the back and stuff. But how crazy is it that he was able to get in? And do you believe her story that he was only gone 15 seconds?
Not for a minute.
Yeah.
Here's what I envision. Coast clear. Mom's running cover. Dad's instructing little, what's his name? Right, little 2-year-old Cooper. Come on, Ben, you can do this. They train at home with the dog door.
I see where you're going.
He gets inside. No man's like, the iPod. Get the iPhone. Get the iPhone.
Send it out.
Not the duck. Put the duck down. Get the iPhone.
Yeah, some of these have sweet prizes.
Right?
Like
get the watch.
Get the stack that looks like cash, but it's probably just ones.
With a 50 on the outside. He's in there playing with a teddy bear. World's his oyster, that kid.
Have you seen how they're at grocery stores now? They're really nice looking. But you can't just put in quarters anymore. Now you buy tokens. That they're all at least $1.
Okay.
These machines, or at least $1.
Mm-hmm.
So my 8-year-old the other day, we were going to get some stuff in the morning, and he brings $1. And once we're halfway there, he informs me that he's brought $1 because he really wants to try one of these machines. And my natural response to everything that my kids ask is no. And then I went, hold on. Maybe he's, this is a core memory he's going to have of remembering doing this thing. And
sure.
I remember my parents.
I gave you mine from 55 years,
exactly
56 years ago.
And what did you get out of your, a gun?
I got a loaded 9mm. No, I got a golf club shaped lighter.
It was a golf club shaped lighter.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought you said 6 hour, but okay. So it was a loaded lighter.
Yeah.
So
full of fuel.
And my 8-year-old who just wanted to do the experiment. His brother was sick, and he goes, he had the flu or whatever, and he goes, I want to get, and he knew this. He would tug at my heartstrings. So he goes, I want to get it for him. And so I said, oh, that's so nice. Yes, that's so sweet. Spend your money.
Generosity.
So he goes, he puts his $1 in, and he gets his coin, and he goes over and he does one of the machines, and instantly he doesn't get it, and he's just like, what a rip! Like, and I was like, well, buddy, they're not designed to win. Like, that's not how these.
Right.
They're designed to lose. Mm-hmm. That's what you're going to keep doing if you keep playing these.
Right.
Thankfully, he didn't climb inside. That would have been a bad morning.
Have you seen the ones that are loaded with cash?
Yes.
Big stacks of coins.
Yes.
It's like a slot machine. Guys said they're just feeding these things, and a big tower of quarters falls in. So they keep putting those in. And next thing, here comes this roll of 20s or whatever. It's ridiculous. It's a slot machine. You're right. It's a toy-filled slot machine.
This is childhood gambling.
Yep.
How is it different than gambling?
None.
It is fun, though. I mean, like when you do get one.
It's a great memory.
And I told my son, I said, hey, if you win, chase that feeling.
My old man on his deathbed, hacking up along. Remember, you got me that lighter. I'm just getting misty thinking about it.
What a sweet memory. What a nice memory. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Jason Rant's going to join us next. We have a lot of stuff to chat about. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast. They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations to Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hurd-Garris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Heather Bosch. Investigators say a family dispute prompted a shooter to open fire during a high school hockey game in Rhode Island yesterday. Pawtucket Police Chief Tina Gonsalves identifying the dead.
One of the victims was his ex-wife, Rhonda Dorgan, and also his son, adult son Aiden Dorgan.
She says the shooter died by suicide. The nation is remembering civil rights leader Jesse Jackson, who has died at the age of 84.
The family of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. called him a servant leader, and though they shared him with the world, his oldest daughter, Santita, told CBS News.
He was always looking to lift.
But adds,
as a father, he was always present.
Santita Jackson says when he became ill with the rare neurological disorder, people offered comfort to the family.
They would say, I'm praying for your father.
Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Special equipment is being used to try and detect a signal from Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker. CBS's Andres Gutierrez has more from the Parsons Corporation, which makes it.
They ended up releasing a statement this afternoon saying that they were brought in by the Pima County Sheriff as soon as they got word of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. They brought in their trademark Blue Fly units and ended up sending personnel here from Virginia to Arizona to help out with with the search.
The mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie disappeared from her Arizona home 17 days ago. CBS is responding to the Late Show host's claim that he was told to scrap an interview with a Texas Democrat who's running for U.S. Senate.
Stephen Colbert hit the air Monday night announcing,
"You know who is not one of my guests tonight? That's Texas State Representative James Tallarico."
The Late Show host added,
"We were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast."
Colbert says it was over fears it would violate the FCC's equal time guidance. CBS says that The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview and was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for two other candidates and presented options for how the equal time for other candidates could be fulfilled. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Testimony from a student who was injured when police say a teenager opened fire at a Georgia high school in 2024, killing 2 students and 2 teachers.
Afterwards, I started to scream. I was screaming that I got shot. I was yelling that I...
The accused shooter's dad is on trial. Prosecutors say Colin Gray gave his son Colt access to a gun and ammunition despite warning signs. Gray's attorneys say he wasn't told about the planned attack. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Coming up, Governor submits a request for federal disaster aid. We'll tell you how much after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. We have scattered showers across our commute. Be sure to add a little extra room and watch for standing water if you come across a stray shower. South Tacoma, North 5 and South 48th Street. We've got a collision in your left lane. That's why you're back to bumper at 84th. Olympia to Tacoma now has a 15-minute delay, taking you 45 minutes. In South Center, we're still on scene of this collision. North 5 and South 178th now blocking just the HOV lane. At its worst, it had 3 lanes blocked. Your backup starts near South 200th. Federal Way to Seattle, a 35-minute commute. That's about a 10-minute delay, and it's raining pretty good there. North 5 in Seattle jams up at the I-90 interchange, and again, just past Mercer across the Ship Canal Bridge. 15 minutes to clear these backups. South 5 slows from the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. In Bellevue, we cleared our crash. South 405 and Northeast 8, so that backup is cleared out. Still heavy as you go through Factoria. And in Renton, northbound 167, it's stop and go approaching 180th up to 405. Just volume here. Auburn and Renton, you've got about a 10-minute delay. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Washington's governor is submitting a $182 million disaster request to FEMA following December's record flooding. State's also seeking $36 million in grants to build flood walls and other infrastructure to prevent future damage. Governor Ferguson points to that flood wall in Mount Vernon.
It's clear that flood wall saved downtown from being flooded and saved an awful lot of pain and suffering cost to many Washingtonians.
Governor's request has bipartisan support. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson finishing up her first State of the City address this morning. Housing affordability among her top priority.
So as housing costs continue to rise and displacement threatens so many of our neighbors, social housing is going to give us a powerful tool to expand our non-market housing sector and create true stability.
She says so far Seattle has collected $115 million for the city's social housing developer to build publicly owned housing. That money comes from a voter-approved payroll tax on large corporations. Leaders in King County are calling on state lawmakers to restore millions in funding for crime victim services. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains.
Leaders of victim advocacy groups across the state, including Doris O'Neill with the Seattle YWCA, say they are at a breaking point.
Many services will be disrupted. We won't be able to serve as many people as we do. It could mean that survivors go without.
The currently proposed budget in Olympia cuts support for crime survivors nearly in half. Multiple groups warn that could mean fewer shelter beds, reduced counseling, and possible closures, leaving survivors, including children, without life-saving help. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We now know just how much garbage can pile up when about 1 million Seahawks fans converge on downtown Seattle.
Go Hawks, baby!
KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha has the final trash tally from the Super Bowl parade.
Seattle Public Utilities and Seattle
Seattle Department of Transportation collected more than 10,000 pounds of garbage and 5 pieces of large furniture. Parade trash was collected over the course of several hours, and the parade gave the city an idea on how to attack trash collection during the World Cup.
And now to your weather update. We are on the chillier side today. A chance for some wintry mix showers for tonight. Right now looking at 46 degrees and partly cloudy skies in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour left to go. You lucky ducks. A full another hour of us. We got a lot of stuff to get to that we haven't talked about yet. Some of it is involving taxes and your money, and there's just nothing sexier than talking about taxes. So let's get into some of that. Joining us right now to discuss, we're very fortunate to have him on the show, Jason Rantz from 770 Seattle Red. Jason Rantz Show. Welcome to the show.
This segment just got so much sexier.
Let's be honest. Just
come on.
Pure sex talk, kind of. Well, it's taxes. We're going to talk taxes.
Okay, let's bring up HR. Dr. Marin.
Email HR,
Hostile
please.
work environment.
Jason, you have an article right now. People can read this on mynorthwest.com. There's a number of things I want to talk about. I want to start with this money being spent on EV chargers in our state and whether or not it is a good use of funds. Tell us a little bit about this.
So federal dollars came into the state of Washington. There was a little bit of a back and forth between the Trump administration and Washington state officials to install 14 different charging stations across different highways statewide. Sure. Most of it is on I-90. But some of it is in, border areas, both with Oregon as well as
Eastern Washington for the most part. Yeah,
kind of more north a little bit, but generally across the board in more rural areas. $12 million.
Red areas, I'd like to point out.
Where people don't actually own any of the EVs. But I will argue it's not necessarily for that. It's more for if you're making, let's say, the drive from, say, Seattle to Toppenish or to the border.
Right.
Like,
it's to cover gaps in charging
to potentially
stations.
give you some spots. And overall, it's I think that the number was like 96 different slots to plug in your car across 5 different companies that are getting private companies that are getting the dollars in order to install and maintain.
You nailed it. Yeah, good job.
That was my story.
I know. You did your research.
I remembered what I wrote.
Let me ask you a question. What do you guys think about that spend? It's basically like it's a little under $1 million per charging station. Is that right?
$868 per.
So close to. Yeah. Is that a good use of they'll probably get used. I mean, like when I drive over to when I'm on my way through Eastern Washington and you're going through what's the name of it? Central Washington? Not Central Washington. Yeah, where's Central Washington?
Ellensburg.
In Ellensburg.
Okay.
There is a charging station right near the Taco Bell.
Soon will be another one because that's covered in this.
Okay, so if you drive, it's crazy. If you drive into Taco Bell and you get Taco Bell there, the charging station is right there, and there will be a long line of cars that are just sitting there because it takes forever to charge your car in one of these things.
These particular charging stations are, as Jason mentioned, they're high-speed charging stations.
Sure.
They're not your average home charging station where it takes hours to charge up a car.
The ones at Taco Bell are high-speed as well.
So high-speed in this context, they're talking usually 15 to 20 minutes will get you
80%.
Not as high generally, but it will get you at least a quarter of the way to full. It depends on where you're starting. It depends on all sorts of things, including the weather at the time.
But 15 to 20 minutes, and
where you're just hanging out. Yeah.
So we'll go in and we'll, because we don't have an EV, we have a gas-powered car. So
but you like Taco Bell.
But I love Taco Bell.
Right.
That's what powers me, Taco Bell, because I'm a human being and I love it. Do you not like Taco Bell?
No.
Are you kidding?
It's gross. That's a
whole nother segment. We can talk about
Taco
it.
Time,
Maha would be so mad at you.
Taco Time is also very good.
Taco Time is
I like
better.
it.
Taco Time is better than Taco Bell.
local.
I'm not going to argue with
Support
you that
local,
the
buddy.
ingredients don't taste fresher and they're not better. I totally understand that.
Gotcha.
But when I go into Taco Bell and I order units of food, I know what I'm going to get and I like it.
Not just advertising, units of food.
Well, everything's
How many
kinda-
shits?
Everything's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of the same thing.
Getting back to EVs.
Getting back to EVs. Will they be useful? I don't know. Maybe they'll get used. I wish the technology was faster. 20 minutes is a long time to sit.
It is, and that's the real. So there's two separate issues. Number one, why are we subsidizing private companies to do this? We don't subsidize to put gas stations into areas, mostly because the demand for gas-powered vehicles and gasoline and gas stations is more than enough to cover it. There's not really the interest in EVs. In fact, quite the opposite. While Washington has been a little bit of an outlier early on in adopting the technology, there's been survey after survey after survey showing that the people who purchase EVs say their next car will not be an EV because they've realized that there are significant downsides for a lot of people when it comes to this technology, the biggest of which, number one, the batteries don't last that long. That's the unfortunate reality. Now, if you're someone who's maybe driving a couple miles to work each day and you happen to have one or can get one of these stations installed in your garage, that probably does make sense. But if you are, and this is completely a random example, driving from Seattle to Cle Elum for Brandy Cruz's wedding and there's nowhere to plug in, you realize real quickly on the way back that you're going to have to pull over and then call a tow because the battery died.
Did this happen to you?
100% it happened.
Are you serious?
It was the worst experience.
Wow.
And this was right before, I remember it.
You didn't stop at the Taco Bell?
There wasn't a Taco Bell.
You should have stopped at the Taco Bell.
You're in Ellensburg. He's in the Cle Elum.
Cle Elum now.
I'd have to drive, 20, 30 minutes to get to that station, and I wasn't even going to make it at that point.
So you had to get a tow truck?
I yelled so I had to rent a car at this point. This was a couple years ago. This was the day before the release of my book, and I was going to New York for press. And What's Killing America. It's a wonderful book that I got paid to write and everything.
Where all fine books are sold.
Where all fine books and even not so fine books are sold.
Sure.
And so on the way back, I'm panicking because I'm looking down. It's got 1% left. I'm like, I got an early flight the next morning. Brandy decided to selfishly have her wedding the day before I had to go to New York. It was just a mess.
It was at John's place, right?
It was at John's place. And so I'm driving back and I'm trying not to touch the gas pedal because I've got on my GPS, it says like a mile away.
Acceleration pedal. There's no gas pedal.
That thing. Mile away is a place to plug in, which was closed. And so I ended up having to pull over at an off-ramp that didn't even have a name of a street. It was like off-ramp 122-A3. Like it was completely random.
That's a body dump, I believe.
It was the worst. I ended up just abandoning the car there and taking an Uber for $150 back home.
Cow.
Did you specifically request an
No,
EV?
quite the opposite. I said I wanted a normal car, but because Hertz is the absolute worst, I got there and they had gotten rid of every single one except for the EV. And I said to them,
opinion, that's not science.
It's 100% science.
Opinion.
It has been backed up by
That is not
Harvard
the opinion of the Jake and
University.
Spike Show.
HARVURD.
There goes our Hertz endorsement.
They're
of the Jake
the
and
worst.
Spike Show.
Oh, they're the worst. And by the way, the card that they gave me didn't even have a full charge.
Tom Brady endorses them. How could they be that bad?
Yeah, goat.
That guy knows his stuff.
Yeah, well.
I do love his commercial where he's like sitting there.
I don't take rental car tips or marriage tips from that guy. I'll just tell you right now. I don't do it.
The other issue is that we don't have the infrastructure in place. Now, I can see Spike already thinking, well, this is part of that. Yes. Yeah, if this actually mattered in the grand scheme of things, but it doesn't. That's the reality. It is way too expensive to get the infrastructure that you would need for this to actually work, and the technology is not there yet. Now, maybe that changes technology
not
in
another
decade.
Step.
No, but this is not part of the upgrade to the technology, to the battery issue. This is putting in place the actual infrastructure for the current bad technology, which we don't even know is going to be able to be transferred over to whatever the newer technology is. The reality is the marketplace isn't there the way that we were told. Mm-hmm. It's getting subsidized by folks for political reasons. Yep. And they might be valid ones to individuals, right? Fine, but it doesn't make it any less political.
You're still spending somebody else's money.
As all tax dollars are, man. Roads aren't built with private companies. Bridges aren't built with private companies.
You're giving this to private companies, though. including Tesla, which you're supposed to be against because of fascism or something.
Don't even get me started. I love the stickers on the back of a Tesla. I bought it before he was crazy. I love those stickers. Those are great. Those are early adopters of this technology. These investments in infrastructure are no different than investments in high-speed internet, in EV charging stations. They're all investments in American infrastructure.
No, they're investments for products of private companies. That's different than your argument, which is a valid one if we were talking about just roads, for example. That's not what this is.
These are no different than roads.
These are completely different than roads. Are you purchasing your vehicles from the government? Are the manufacturers of these vehicles being completely subsidized by tax dollars?
You're just mad that you're spending tax dollars on red counties. I know how you are.
I'm livid.
You are livid that you're servicing these.
I'm the consistent one.
These Democrats, these blue Democrats in Washington, spending money on red citizens.
I am consistent.
I just did another drop that I should have done from Christmas vacation. Guys,
I think this is a good investment because whether we are early adopters who are
in what.
Of EV technology?
Because it's an investment in private companies that I would argue, and I think you would agree with me on this, that if there truly was the marketplace, they wouldn't need the subsidies. And it's not, by the way, like a loan that they're paying back. That not only are they getting the funds to create these, but they're getting paid to maintain them.
Yeah, it's for installation, maintenance.
Yeah, the whole shebang. And obviously you're plugging in. It's not free, so you still have to pay something for it.
And the reason it's so expensive is you have to put in the infrastructure to have these high-powered,
that plus the security around it to make sure that it's
copper thieves.
Not damaged. Yeah.
Trust me, I'm a Democrat. I know all about the copper thieves.
Let's move on to something else we can yell at each other about. This is
Hertz,
the
worst
estate
company.
tax.
Hertz is the worst.
Guys, again, that is neither confirmed nor denied. That is certainly not a position. Certainly not a position
Breaking
of the Jake and
news.
Spike Show or KIRO Radio. We'd never say such a thing.
I would.
Did you guys? That's Jason Rance's opinion. Okay. Democrats are considering now rolling back that estate tax that passed just last year. This was kind of a controversial thing. It would have made the dying in Washington state, depending on how much money you had when you died, the most expensive state to die in. And now they are quietly trying to roll it back and go back to what it was before they raised it to 35%, I think, for over $9 million estates. Now they're saying, hey, let's roll that back to 20% because 35 seems like maybe a little bit of overkill.
Because the uber wealthy basically said, this is absurd.
Forget
we're changing
this.
our
elsewhere.
residences. We're going to die elsewhere. We're going to retire elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that was a direct result of that. However, I push back a little bit at this idea that this was like the Democrats coming to their senses. I believe that this was the uber wealthy who aren't really getting hit by the millionaire tax. That's going to millionaires, not to the billionaires, right?
Sure.
They basically said, you're killing us. Just take the money from the millionaires and give us a little bit
Take
of a
it
break.
from those poor millionaires.
Leave. Yeah. I literally think that this is part of backroom dealings between wealthy people and the Democrat elites.
Let me ask you a question. So
it's nice we get some of their money for a change.
You always get their money.
So this is something they've figured out. All right, this is bad. We should roll this back. This is not good for rich people, and we want rich people to stay here because we want their money. We recognize that taking more of their money is not actually going to give us more money. In fact, in the future, it probably means less money.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they applying these same rules to the millionaire tax that just passed with almost complete Democrat support? 3 Democrats smartly said, hey, guys, guess what? Nobody wants this thing. Everybody hates it. Why don't they see the light in the millionaire tax?
Yeah, because in the end, this is all political. They're getting more money with the millionaire tax than they would against the billionaires on the death tax. I think it's just how the math ends up shaping out. And you're right, because the logic still exists. And it's worse, I would argue, for the millionaires because especially when we're talking about the pass-through businesses, startups in particular, are just they're going to be devastated by this. And the thing is, startups can start up anywhere.
Sure.
They talk about the mobility of business. It's different to say, Microsoft's not going to go anywhere, and they're not going. They might expand elsewhere, but they're not going to just pull out of Washington. Same with Amazon.
We had the guy from the Association of Washington Businesses on, and who was saying that, listen, this millionaire tax, it's being sold as just these really rich millionaires who woke up with all this money. Yeah. It's going to hit all these small businesses who might on paper look like they're making $1 million, but at the end of the day, they're only taking home low 6 figures because all of that money, somebody who might own 4 barista stands, they have to pay their employees, they have to buy the product, they have to do all the different things.
Yeah. It shows up on their personal tax burden, but it's not actually
But they're still going to be taxed
business.
as if they are making $1 million a year, which is just not the case. that's not going to be good for small businesses.
100%. And there's no carve out at all. And this is, in particular, this is going to happen and hit hardest the tech sector, which is driven by AI right now. There's no doubt. And that's why you see a lot of tech folks who are just kind of apolitical saying, if you do this, you are going to destroy an important sector of our economy in Washington that's already struggling because of AI. AI can grow here. But not only are they pushing the millionaire tax, but they're also pushing this AI infrastructure energy plan, which basically says, oh, yeah, if you're an AI company and you're using a whole lot of electricity, you're going to have to pay for the actual infrastructure to put in place so that you can handle the electricity, which is obviously not a fair point to put onto these businesses. Because right now we're struggling to meet the energy demands due to eco decisions that were environmentalist decisions pushed on us by the left. Now they're saying, yeah, you can, if you want to set up shop here, you're going to have to make up for the things we did wrong and then some and take on that cost. Why would they build here? Why wouldn't they just build literally anywhere? Why would they not build in Idaho if they're looking for space to grow an AI company? Why would they come here if they're going to have to shoulder an absurd financial burden?
The other thing is the tax on the the pay packages for like a lot of these startups and a lot of the people that they're hiring. These are risky companies. Oftentimes they're not successful. And so one of the ways that they attract talent is they say, hey, we're going to give you a moderate income. You're probably coming from somewhere where you've already made a good amount of money, but so we're going to hire people who are good. We're going to give you moderate income, but we're going to give you a lot of investment opportunity with the company should it be successful. So you're taking a risk. But then when that company grows and gains in value, they're going to tax you on those gains before you're actually making any money on those. Yep. And people who are starting these companies are like, guys, you're going to cut our legs out from under us. We're not going to be able to entice good people.
Or not even that. You might say, I'm going to pay you a ton because in the world of AI, we want the top talent.
Yes.
And now we're coming here, come to Washington State, we'll pay you $750 or whatever. And let's say their husband or wife makes $250. That counts as a millionaire tax household.
Yeah.
So you're making it even harder to attract the best of the best talent.
Isn't it over $1 million?
Okay.
It's income over $1 million?
Over literally a penny over $1 million.
You always do this at $500,000 twice and you get $1 million. You don't get taxed on any of that. It's things over.
$500,000 and $1 and $500,000.
Then you get taxed 9% of $1. Oh, how heartbreaking!
That's how it's so.
That's how it starts.
People understand.
And I'm with you on that one. The whole slippery slope of no basement to this tax number is ridiculous.
Well, no, ultimately there isn't a basement because the argument is you're doing this now specifically for millionaires. And I've said this, I think, on the show last week or 2 weeks ago. Like, this clearly, I think, unconstitutional. One of two things will happen. The state Supreme Court will say, okay, we're going to redefine basic words and concepts again. We'll go ahead and let this move through like the capital gains tax, which is obviously an income tax.
Not an income tax.
I mean, it's just a silly argument.
Yeah.
So they might do that. Or they say, no, we're actually going to apply the Constitution as it's been applied before. And then the Democrats come back and say, okay, we tried to go after the millionaires. We really did. We gave it our old good college try, and now we're going to have to go after everyone.
We tried to save you, but unfortunately we have to take all of your money.
Supreme Court decided against it.
We have to go. It's very short, so I can ask you this real quick question. Spike and I got into a disagreement earlier on this.
I agree. Hertz is the worst.
Okay, not Hertz. It's not the opinion of the Jake and Spike show. Do you think, as Jamie Peterson says with this income tax thing, because I vehemently disagree with this, he says there is a majority of support amongst Republicans that they support the income tax on millionaires. Do you think that that's true?
There's zero chance that is true. Good luck finding some Republicans who hold that view. You might be able to find a handful, but not really.
Yeah, certainly not a majority.
I don't know if Jamie Peterson knows anything about Republicans. I'm sorry, he does not talk with Republicans.
He hired an independent polling company to poll 500 Washingtons of both political stripes, and they came back.
Did you look at the questions specifically, how they were asked, and how was it?
They were not biased questions. They were independent questions. They weren't slanted to
Hold on, you're saying Jamie Peterson, the Democratic leader, got a pollster.
Out of
and
Portland.
It's totally legitimate.
Who also told us on the show,
not left wing, and didn't get his.
Who also told us on the show that the CCA did not add to the gas price. Do you remember that?
Let's not move the goalposts.
I'm not moving the goalposts. I'm saying
he's pointing out that he's a liar.
I'm pointing out the fact that he's happy he's happy to mislead on things.
Gotta go.
Hey, the Washington State Republican Party did a poll, and you know what it found? I hold the exact same view.
And not a single Republican supports it. All right, we got a lot more coming up.
All the Democrats were against it.
We'll be right back.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations to Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
If you're a Washington landlord, you've likely noticed things are changing. New rental laws, more rules, higher costs, and a lot less flexibility than before. John Curley here. Most landlords I talk to know some of their numbers like rent, mortgage, maybe the property value. But the numbers that really matter, taxes, vacancies, repairs, your time, and what it actually costs to exit someday. Those are often overlooked. And if you sell without a tax plan, the tax hit can be a nasty surprise. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting 2 free in-person workshops for landlords who want clarity. They'll show you how to evaluate the true performance of your rental, whether selling makes sense, and how to do it tax efficiently. No politics, no pressure, just real math and real explanations. It's live, in person, not a webinar. Tuesday the 17th at 3 p.m. at UW-Tacoma, and Wednesday the 18th at 3 p.m. at Bellevue College. Seats are limited. To reserve your spot, call 833-673-7373 or visit madronafinancial.com.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA! Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. That millionaire tax proposal in Olympia may have just cleared the Senate, but it still has to get through the House and then onto the governor's desk. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay has the latest.
Governor Ferguson says for the bill to get his signature, it must be laser focused on affordability.
So do I support the concept of millionaire's tax? You better believe it. But it just can't be $3.5 billion that goes into our general fund.
He wants $1.9 billion of that money to go back to Washingtonians, and his plan includes reducing taxes on small businesses and adding a couple of sales tax holidays. Washington Republican Representative April Connors.
This income tax is not just going to hit wealthy people, it's going to eventually hit every single person in Washington state.
Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Investigators in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance now say DNA from gloves did not match any entries in a national database. We get more from CBS's Anna Schechter.
We also learned that DNA recovered from the property is still undergoing analysis, and law enforcement does not know if the DNA on the glove matches the DNA recovered from Nancy Guthrie's property.
It is now day 17 in the search for the 84-year-old Guthrie. After 6 years of work, MultiCare is set to open the new Mary Bridges Children's Hospital in Tacoma. First patients arrive on May 16th. The project was announced back in 2020. Pandemic supply chain delays really drove costs up. Final price tag reached $480 million. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports that is far above the original $344 million estimates. Seattle area got its first taste of snow for the season. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard says a few spots even saw some minor accumulation today.
Hoodsport, for example, saw a little bit more than an inch. Lilywop got an inch. Quinault about half an inch with Olympia. Seattle and Tacoma both got trace amounts. So you didn't have measurable snow, but you at least had your first recorded version of snowfall at the airport this year. So, I mean, that's a few flakes at the airport.
And we'll have more on your forecast in just a moment. But first, Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
This one brought to us by Seattle Sports. In South Tacoma, we cleared our crash North 5 and South 48th Street. That backup is no longer there. The Valley Freeway, we're filling in pretty quickly now between Algona and Sumner. In Fife, we have a new collision at South 5, right at the Fife curve, blocking your HOV lane. Your bumper-to-bumper is starting your wild waves. South Center, we cleared that crash. North 5 and 178th, no longer any backups here. South 5 through South Center is starting to fill in, though. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're going to jam up at the I-90 interchange in the downtown. And again, just past Mercer across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's about 15 to 20 minutes to make it through downtown. And a stall, South 5, just past the West Seattle Bridge, blocks your left center lane. You're backed up to the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge. This has eastbound traffic on the West Seattle Bridge stacked up to Highway 99 as drivers stack up waiting to hop on to South 5. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Just a few spotty, mainly rain showers for the rest of the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, highs in the upper 40s. A chance for some rain-snow mix later on tonight. Right now, 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We talk about this from time to time. I'm very interested in this topic because I have young kids who very soon, they're not quite there yet, but my oldest is 10, will very soon be inundated with friends who have phones, friends who are on social media, constantly being told, have you seen this or that? I mean, I just think about how common it is now for cell phones in our lives. And we grew up at a time, Spike, when these were not even a thing that I even contemplated other than in sci-fi movies. Like, I would watch Star Trek and go like, oh, like a communicator.
Yeah.
That's like a phone.
It's the original flip phone. That's where it came from. That's where it came from, was Gene Roddenberry.
But even Star Trek could not envision what phones would become.
It's not a phone anymore.
It's not a phone.
It's the world coming into your kid's room.
Yes. So in different countries around the world, like in Australia and now in the United Kingdom.
Australia has done it. UK is considering it and going to attempt it. And there's a lot of countries.
Social media ban.
Yeah, complete social media ban for kids under 16.
For kids under 16. I saw, this article was in The Independent. I was reading this. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to just read you a little bit of this. Keir Starmer has vowed to enforce a crackdown on children under the age of 16 using smartphones in the UK within months. Prime Minister is meeting parents and young people on Monday to insist that the government will do all it can to keep children safe online. I don't know if you need to be meeting with young people. Like, they'll just tell them what to do. Just
thank you.
You don't need to tell them, like, get their opinion on whether or not they should have phones. Just don't give them phones. All right, so here's some clips we want to play for you. Cell phones can be very dangerous for your kids. You should do everything you can to keep your kids away from social media for as long as humanly possible. I am astounded always when I see young kids who have their own phones. I understand that kids sometimes, like even my kids will, my wife and I keep our phones, we have like a bread bin in our house, and so we keep them there. They will go and find them, and they will take pictures of each other and like run around the house and do funny things. They're not going on social media though. I understand kids are going to grab parents' phones at some point.
Yeah.
But when I see kids walking around, young kids who have their own phones, like at my kid's elementary school, when I see kids after school and picking up my kid, when I see them carrying cell phones, I'm like, who's giving a 9-year-old a smartphone?
And they're averaging 5 to 7 hours a day on their phones and in social media?
Insane. High school age girls specifically, 7 hours a day on average on TikTok. Think about that.
Right.
2-3 second videos, however long they're watching, 7 hours a day. Like, how are you finding 7 hours a day of time to be on your phone? I don't even, that's a night of sleep. That's a good night of sleep in my house.
It just doesn't add up.
All right, so this is Jonathan Haidt, who is, I think, a genius, and he's been at the forefront of this. He wrote a book called The Anxious Generation, which is very good. I highly recommend it.
His latest, The Amazing Generation?
No.
It's a graphic novel by kids for kids about how to keep them and the dangers of social media, how to keep them off social media, how to deprioritize social media.
Very good. This was him talking about fighting over screen time. Listen to this.
Once kids get a phone and social media, the rest of family life turns into a fight over screen time. And this is happening everywhere. This is happening in Silicon Valley, where the parents know what's going on. In fact, in Silicon Valley, you're much more likely to find parents who say, no, you cannot have this because we know how bad it is. Why do we give our 10-year-olds a phone? The main reason is because everyone else did. We don't want our daughter to be the only one.
That's what I hear.
That's it.
Every time we talk about it, it's like comparisons. It's well, all my kids' friends have it.
Right. So Australia bans social media accounts for anybody under 16.
Mm-hmm.
Now the UK is considering it, as you mentioned. Starmer's talking about it. But all the France, Germany, Spain, and a handful of other countries are contemplating the legislation that would ban 16 and under from having social media accounts.
What was it? Australia? You were reading that they had like a loophole.
No, Australia. Some of these countries that are contemplating bans of social media for anybody under 16. Australia is ironclad. Nobody under 16. These countries are, including America, when it's been discussed in America, are contemplating allowing parents to opt out of the ban. A parental permission to give a kid under 16 a social media account. And that defeats the entirety of the purpose. That takes away every parent's look. I'd love to, but it's against the law. Because the problem here is kids are working parents. Kids peer pressure.
They're certainly doing that. Kids are certainly doing that.
That's what it boils down to.
I ultimately think, though, I'm conflicted on this one, genuinely, because I agree that it's a bad idea for kids to have phones. My wife and I have made that decision. We have talked about many people. Since I've been talking about this, many people have reached out saying we're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Many friends of ours have said they're doing the same thing.
Right, because there's strength in numbers, right?
But I do believe it's still a parental responsibility thing. I don't want the government over-regulating things just because parents aren't willing to do the job of a parent.
Do you think it's a bad idea for kids to be on social media?
A horrible idea.
Okay, so and it's a law.
And I understand there's laws. Like, we don't let kids smoke. It's illegal to smoke.
That was going to be my example.
Yeah.
If a parent says it's okay, should a parent be able to opt out of the 18 and older to smoke? Should a parent be able to opt out of the 21 and older to drink? Should a parent be able to opt out of a 16 and older to drive? Well, this is far more insidious. Well, it's far more dangerous to these kids being on social media.
I just mean what I'm saying is, though, from a prosecution standpoint, you have to go into a business to buy cigarettes, right?
Right. Yes.
And a parent will have a cell phone in the house, probably.
Yeah.
And a kid might get access to that phone, the same as they might if a parent smokes cigarettes.
Right. There's cigarettes. There's booze in the house. There's cigarettes in the house. Sure.
There's
a car in the driveway.
The dangerous part to me is governments who are so quick to over penalize and take away parents should still be parents.
It's a valid concern, and I respect the autonomy of a parental decision with the lives of their kids.
And I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about it because I do think there's just a lot. I mean, kids don't know what they're doing. That's the truth. Kids don't know what they're doing.
Do you have the other clip from Bill Maher?
I have it here.
Play that clip, because this was what got my attention.
These things were designed by people who studied slot machines. Slot machines are addictive. These people, a lot of them took a course at Stanford on persuasive design. They learned how to use intermittent rewards, variable ratio reward schedules to hook people. And they did it. They talked about it. We have transcripts. We have internal reports. They did 31 studies, my team has found. If you go to medisinternalresearch.org, we've categorized their own studies showing that this is addictive. They talk about it. They use the word addiction. And so now for these guys to say, oh, it's not addictive, well, just like the tobacco industry. And would they let their kids, I don't think the tobacco industry, I don't think the tobacco guys let their kids smoke. A lot of these guys don't let their kids use their products. But there's a big difference, I think. And I think comparing it to the tobacco industry is actually unfair to the tobacco industry. Because the tobacco executives never saw children suffer. They knew that they were going to give them cancer eventually, but they didn't have to look at children suffering and dying.
I'm leaning towards being okay with them regulating this and saying nobody under 16. I think that's probably fine. But at the end of the day, this is still a parental choice that parents need to make for their kids.
It is, but
if you catch your kid smoking a cigarette, you should slap it out of their hand and say this is wrong. The same thing with social media.
But
you should already be doing this.
All my friends are smoking, Dad.
If you're a parent who can't live up to the peer pressure of a child, then you're not parenting right. I understand that it's difficult.
No, I'm with you, buddy. But as we see this crisis of childhood mental health, with
I'm not arguing for more phones.
No. I know.
I'm just saying that the onus is on parents and should be on parents.
I just think this is such a more insidious intrusion into childhood, into socialization, into growth, into attention span deficit disorder, all these different things.
You're preaching to the choir.
And the people who make, and like you said, like Mr. Haidt said, is it Haidt? John Haidt. You know, the guys who design these social media platforms, they get their tips from how people design slot machines.
Yeah.
I mean, we're letting them at our kids.
Look at some of these dating websites too. They have like the same interface as slot machines.
Yeah. Well, the intermittent reward cycle.
And it's just to make people keep using it.
Yes, the intermittent reward cycle. How often do you have to play to get a little taste of something?
Parents, do the right thing, which you are, obviously. You know what
we hope you are. We need you to.
Yeah. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got text messages. We have just a ton of stuff. So stick around. Be right back.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast. They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz. Congratulations to Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Yep, it's a rainy season in the Northwest. It means it's time to call Integrity Roofing and Construction, your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates. Their customer satisfaction just speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protect from the Northwest rain this season. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com to schedule a free assessment or video inspection today. They've got years of experience in roofing and restoration. Skilled teams delivering exceptional quality work. Trust me, I love these guys. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit IntegrityRC.com.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I said to Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, or your wrist, or your shoulder, or hip, no. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of text messages to get to today, so we will. All right, Laura, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, on the Nancy Guthrie case, Elena says, I don't understand why they didn't use the pacemaker pinging location sooner.
You're talking about you saw this at the helicopter flying around? They call it, I forget what the specific name was. It's like some sort of a signal extender or whatever.
Okay.
But they're hanging it from a helicopter, and then they're flying around.
And locate her pacemaker?
Well, they're trying to get her pacemaker to reconnect to this thing. And the only way to get to it is if you fly pretty low, because I heard it only connects if you're within... the number I heard is completely unreasonable if the helicopter could get that close. I heard it was 30 feet.
Oh, wow,
But if that's I think it's 30 feet to your cell phone, so I imagine with whatever extender they have, maybe it's 100. I don't know what it is. But that's what they're trying to do. Fly around. If they could get it to connect, and they would know within that general search grid where it might be. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
But she's got to be somewhere. She has to be.
Yeah.
And so that's not a horrible way to do it. I mean, it's kind of a needle in a haystack, but if it works. All right, Spike, go ahead.
On bobsledding, Mike in Point Defiance says, I did the bobsled ride at Whistler back in 2022, and I sat in the back as well, just like Luke Ducey described earlier. The G-force snapped my neck forward, ended up with my head and my wife's shoulder the whole time.
Oh, man.
The G-force. Hey, we have audio of NBC's Colin Jost, who's over covering the Olympics for NBC.
Is he the everyman?
He's the everyman, and they strapped him into a bobsled.
Finally, somebody cracked it.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, can we play this audio?
I went down the bobsled. I went from start point 1 at the top with a very gifted driver, thankfully, Brian Burkhorn. And I was not prepared for the level of terror of this bobsled. I swear to God, I thought I was going to die. I thought my back was going to snap in half. I thought my bones were going to fly off my body and be littered all up and down the bobsled track. It was by far the scariest experience I've ever had in my life. Oh my God!
That's exactly what we want. We don't want real athletes.
No, okay, I got you.
We want real people.
Right, for a baseline.
Yes,
to see just how skilled these athletes are.
Yes. Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't realize, it makes total sense. I didn't realize the G-force was such a thing.
I didn't either.
It looks like they're just swooping in and out.
Right, sure, fun ride down the hill.
Well, I saw a static image of that bobsled course, and it is literally vertical.
The walls?
They put the course on hinges so they can freeze the ice and then hinge it back up so it's absolutely vertical in certain places.
Yeah, I wonder how they did that. I just assumed they were just like slowly dripping water down the side.
Drip line.
Until it froze.
Cool.
Blasting it, yeah.
Okay, on the millionaire's tax, Don the Amazing. I like that, Don. Is that your given name? Don the Amazing? I wonder how this millionaire tax will affect recruitment for local teams like the Seahawks. The average salary for key non-quarterback veterans in 26 is between $2 million and $8 million. By coming to Seattle, they will make almost $100,000, $700,000 less than places that don't have this tax. We brought that up day one.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Cal is going to pay an extra $3 million at least a year in taxes.
One of the ways our teams attract the best talent is we don't have a state income tax.
He's got big shoulders because he's a big manly dude, but don't make him shoulder all this tax burden. Don't do that to him. Every time you think about the millionaire's tax, think of whoever your favorite athlete is and then go and pick their pocket. In fact, I saw Bob Ferguson, saw a video of him at the Seahawks rally in Seattle. Run around, he's high-fiving people.
High five, yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, he's just walking around. Do people understand? Are they excited to see Bob Ferguson? Or are they like, get out of the way, let a Seahawk get in there? And he's, I don't know if they are.
He's your governor.
Yeah, they might. They might be
goes
excited.
up for a picture with a Seahawk all of a sudden. Where's my wallet?
He goes, guess how much money I'm taking from these guys? That's what he's doing. He's just following them around, trying to get money.
Can you fill this out for me? For 253 says, mark it on your calendar. Within 4 years, it'll be $50,000 threshold for the millionaire's tax.
There you go. Fernando in Seattle, who's a longtime texter, and we disagree a lot on things, but Fernando, I always enjoy our back and forth. She says, as a liberal Democrat, I don't like this income tax bill. There are no safeguards as to income level and percentage. The money goes to the general fund. It just stinks. This will come down to Bob Ferguson. He will own this 100%. They can pass. They've sent it over to the House now. They're going to probably make some changes, and then eventually it'll wind its way up to Bob Ferguson's desk. If he signs this into place, and he goes down in record as the governor who introduced income tax to Washington State, this will haunt him his entire career, just like the CCA is already haunting Inslee and ruining his legacy.
The legacy buster, yeah.
I would highly recommend he not sign
But to this next texter, and Laura, I want you to do me a favor. Reach out to Danny, who's a regular texter of the show. Says, my dad is hardcore Republican and fully supports taxing millionaires. You've said many times you don't believe that there's a Republican in this state that would tax a millionaire. We have one live.
Well, I told
Let's give him the call in.
I told you a majority don't agree with it. I said that you probably could find some Republicans.
Did you?
I did.
Say that what you said?
I did.
I thought you said not a Republican alive.
I said I don't know a Republican.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, we got one.
But I said not a majority. Certainly not a majority. Danny, whose name is spelled with an I, so I disagree with the way that your dad spelled Danny. I don't know if this is true, actually.
Probably a nickname for Danielle, just FYI.
Just who knows?
Oh,
We're against that, too.
I assumed Danny was a boy.
No, with Danny with an I, that's a girl.
Danny, you have a boy's name.
On caffeine being good for you, Joe in Shoreline says, I love Monster White. But a cup of coffee at home is only 8 cents compared to $1.75 for a Monster. And I ain't dumb.
Good for you, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Good for you.
Where can you find a $1.75 Monster, by the way?
I don't know.
Sugar tax is coming. Sugar tax is coming, buddy.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, go
high
ahead.
school protesters assaulting adult counter-protesters. James from Eatonville says the mom in Issaquah, the one who had her hair pulled last week, was with a podcaster named Conspira Cookie. They were there to agitate, and she got what she deserved. I
disagree, James. I don't think people should be assaulted. Even if she's there to get video footage, those kids are playing a big game, and they played it the wrong way. Nobody should be assaulting people. That's against the law. I don't think you should encourage it. Mark in Olympia says, at that age, you have zero control, and that girl was doing whatever she wanted. She punched that guy in the face and chased him down to do so. Feeling sorry for her is just ridiculous. There are consequences for actions, period. Mark, I agree with you that there are consequences. I disagree, though, that I can't feel sorry for her. She's very young. She got caught up in the emotions of it all. She's not thinking clearly, and now she's going to pay a big penalty for doing something incredibly stupid. But it's the adults in her life, including the teachers at her school in Enumclaw, who have not counseled her to stay in school. They should be counseling her to stay in school.
Let me read this one. 425 says, Spike, you are so right about adults not antagonizing students protesting, or you might get hurt. Just like protesting and antagonizing ICE, you might get hurt.
It's true.
So if you're equating ICE to high school students, really? That's the assumption or association you want to make? ICE agents should be held to a higher standard than school protesters?
No, that's not what he's saying.
That's exactly what he's saying.
No, he's saying people
adults shouldn't antagonize
stuff
students.
that happened in Minneapolis when you get in the way of lawful engagements with law enforcement. If you block them from doing their job, you end up in a situation that's not good, right?
No, I'll give you that.
I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, okay.
All right, that's all the time we have for the day. Thank you guys so much. Tons of fun. John Curley's coming up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast. They know they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Look who we have in studio.
Baseball royalty.
Rick Riz.
Congratulations to Seahawks. Now it's our time to go win a World Series.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at mynorthwest.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Experience the iconic Mexican music group Bronco at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, February 28th at 8 p.m. They've sold more than 20 million albums and performed for audiences all over the world. Now Bronco is bringing their modern take on regional Mexican sound live to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Tickets are on sale now at muckleshootcasino.com.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What do the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest.